Hello, everybody. I know it's kind of sudden. I was thinking about doing this tomorrow, but I got some video stuff I gotta really hammer out, and I figured it'd probably be better to do this now than later. As it is, it's actually kind of late. I should have done this sometime last week, but lots of stuff has been happening. Lots of stuff is going to happen. I know not everybody I could potentially get to come in and kind of like thank and everything will be awake right now, but. Hi guys, 10,000 subs. We did it. I never thought we would. And it's awesome. It's cool. And I want to thank everybody so very much for the big 10K. And like I said, never thought I'd ever hit this number. And all of you have my utmost gratitude for pushing us over that line. It truly means a lot. And, I'm just some hobbyist shitter, uh, just in a corner of my first floor apartment, painting minis, reading books, chilling, and you guys thought, I was a guy worth supporting and backing, and that means a lot. So much appreciation to absolutely every single one of you. I greatly appreciate it. Hey Nico, thank you, my brother, thank you, Nico. Very much appreciated, man. How you doing? Uh, as we say, Tirhaminju. Congratulations. Well, thank you so much. Hey, Kiro, congrats on 10K subs, my brother. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, too. Yes, a big Merry Christmas to everybody. This was certainly an early Christmas gift that I got, was hitting this number. It means a lot. I do truly appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a long journey. I mean, I've had this channel for 7 years. My first channel I started, I want to say 11 to 12 years ago. So, I've been making content in some form or another for the last 12 to 13 years, give or take. And throughout all of it, I kept telling myself, oh, I'll just be happy if I hit 1,000 subs. Oh, I'll just be happy if I hit by 1.5. And I always kept going over that number I always said I'd be happy with. And the truth is, I was happy with each of those numbers, each of those milestones. I never felt envious or eager or desperate to hit like bigger numbers in regards to subscribers or like having a major following. It never was, that big of a thing. But now that I've hit it, it feels good. It feels very, very good, and I appreciate you guys so very much for that. I really do appreciate it. Matthew Gordon, how you doing? Congrats, brother. And Merry Happy Yule. Merry Happy Yule to you, too. Merry Christmas. Hey, Karen. How you doing, you wonderful human being? How are you? Ooh. Man. It's actually kind of chilly down here, too, so sorry if I'm, like, constantly, like, in this kind of position. Kind of cold. But yes. Man. So today, to kind of celebrate the 10K subs, it's an AMA. You guys can ask anything you guys want, bring up anything you want to know. There's a couple things I want to also like let everybody know, especially to the new subs, because it is important for any like traffic coming in. There's a list of things you guys should know on the back end that I haven't made like a dedicated video explaining or bringing up. But before we get into that, hey Nathan! Speaking of Nathan, that guy, that motherfucker right there in the Nathan X2000, make sure to write it down. Tattoo it on the back of your hands, get a Sharpie, start writing that shit down. Nathan X2000. Again, I repeat, Nathan X2000, spelled NATHANXT2000. Type that into the YouTube search engine when you get a chance. Find that beautiful, huge, smiling face of his and subscribe. The man uploaded a video not too long ago today, making a celebration of his own. Part of what encouraged me to do that today rather than delay it, or continue to delay it. So, huge shout out to that man. He is a very talented content creator and a very, very passionate person who deserves all the support in the world. And hopefully he will achieve this milestone in a fraction of the time it took me. So, yeah, he deserves all the support. Much love to Nathan X2000, or just Nathan as I know him. Turns out I can't play through 8 Negates. Shocker. He's talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Hey, Lucas von Karstein. Welcome to the stream. Asmogan, I require so many high-quality Warhammer scans. It is awesome Christmas. Christmas, yes. Congratulations to you, my good man. I still got to repair my second 3D printer. The first one's technically repaired, but something's wrong with the build plate. I think I need to... I tried sanding it. That didn't seem to fix whatever's going on, so I also bought a replacement one like a month ago that I need to put on it and test, but we shall see. I shall not stop. I shall not stop. You deserve the praise that you're getting. You deserve the praise that you're getting. I'm sorry, man. You're just too good. You're too good. But yeah, again, I greatly appreciate all you guys so very much. I will throw this for those who are familiar with the open mics I've done in the past. Today will work a little bit similarly. If you guys want to like vocally come on and you know, I'm not saying like come on and like gush about me or anything. But if you guys want to come on and like bring up a topic like you think might be fun to talk about outside of just like the celebration itself of the 10K, I know there's a couple topics I wanted to bring up. Obviously, this isn't mandatory, but if you guys think to do it, I put a link in the description to the call line Discord I run. If you want to jump in to bring up a topic or ask a question or anything like that, there's waiting call rooms 1, 2, 3, and then there's a general waiting room. Just kind of organize yourselves. It's kind of like a line. 1 will get pulled in next. 2 will move up to 1. 3 will move up to 2, etc. All that. But if you'd rather just ask questions or type in chat, that's also perfectly fine. I know a lot of people are celebrating Christmas. I know this is an awkward time to do this video. The stream, sorry. So, all that. Yaska, how you doing? Merry Yule from the north. Thank you, Yaska. Much appreciated. I would say also Merry Yule from the north, but I'm the north of the United States. I suppose that's not the far north. It's not the cold, wintry darkness of the shroud. That is like Iceland and Greenland and shit. But yeah, one thing I wanted to bring up to everybody who might check out the stream or the VOD of this, and I'm also going to make a dedicated 10K thank you video as well. This stream is for like the direct interaction with all you wonderful people, but I do want to make a dedicated thank you to the big 10K subs as well. One big thing I want to kind of bring up to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel and like joining this community. This is very important to know. For those who do not know, in the background right now, I'm on a weight loss journey. And I'm not just losing weight for the health sake of it, though that should just be enough. I'm also losing weight and trying to gain muscle tone because I plan to join the Air National Guard here in my home state. I made that decision very recently after I made a lot of like weighing of options. It looks skinny. What the fuck? Yeah, you mentioned that after I mentioned the exercise, right? Sure, I know you. Thank you, though. I appreciate the compliment. But I am planning on joining the military. Obviously, in a reserve capacity. I'm not joining full-time military, so I will come back to the channel after I do sign the enlistment papers and I go through basic and AIT. But for right now, I'm still waiting on the paperwork so I can eventually do the enlistment stuff. I don't know when the ship out date will be for my basic training, but that is something that is happening in the background. So I think it's important to make sure everyone knows that. Thank you, Zoid, so much for hopping in. How you doing, man? How's it going? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you. I read a story on DeviantArt earlier today where the Dark Angels came to the UNSC's rescue on Reach. That is well, first of all, crossovers of universes, but that is an interesting that sounds like an interesting read. Oh, cool. Awesome. If you want any supplement recommendations, I can point you in good ways. Hey, feel free to throw them my way in DMs. I can't promise I'll get them, but you know, I'm already doing a protein shake in the morning and more or less just drinking water throughout the day. Very protein focused diet. I fell off of it this week, but it's Christmas. I feel like everybody's falling off whatever diet they're on for this week. But yeah, that is something that's happening in the background. The reason for it is I am patriotic, I think, for my country. I do love the United States. I certainly have been having some issues with my patriotism the last couple of years, but that's not due to necessarily... That's due to a lot of, like, discourse. You see a lot on the internet, and like not. But whenever I go into my community, I see a lot of people that have a good head on their shoulders. So the internet can sometimes make you think things are a different way than they really are in reality. So the recent election showed me that it wasn't as bad as it was starting to feel. So that was a nice reality check, and I like to see that. But that being said, as much as I am patriotic for my country, my enlistment isn't entirely noble. It is partially selfish. I do want to take advantage of the VA benefits because I want to get me and my girlfriend a house, and I do not see another way to do it within my lifetime, financially speaking. Like, as much as this stream and this like talk with you guys and this AMA is going to be about like this journey to 10,000 subs and this great support you guys have shown me, I don't expect nor I don't believe that I should expect that YouTube and my day job are going to actually fully cover everything to get to a point where I'm thriving, that to the point that I could buy a house. So I'm looking for paths in life to get to that level of success that don't require me to kind of rely so much on that level of goodwill, as much as the goodwill you guys have shown me. Like, just pressing the subscribe button is more goodwill than I really deserve, I think, and I appreciate it so much. So it's definitely beyond, I think, the pale to expect everybody to donate to me and to support on that level, to the point that I through YouTube and my day job can afford a house outright. So the path I see to do it on my own shoulders and on my own efforts is through military service. And I absolutely think I can do it. I have the determination and the focus for it. So, and a bonus to that level that I'm trying to hit with the military and getting that, because for those who don't know, in the United States military, there is the VA benefits, which is kind of like insurance and stuff. Part of the benefits is a 0% down loan on a house, which you can get through the VA. I want to do that. I think I could take advantage of that. I'm 25. I'm going to be an older recruit, but I'm not beyond my physical prime. So while I can still take advantage of my physical prime and my youth, I'm going to do that. It's a good game plan. Thank you so much. And also welcome killing you softly. Welcome to our stream. But yeah, like that's kind of the plan right now. I want to let everyone know that, especially new subs, because you guys are subbing and hoping for content to be on the regular. And I'm going to try and keep up content as much as I can, all the way up to the point that I have to head out for basic and go to MEPS, and then from there do basic training. So I don't know the schedule of all that, so it could be 3 to 4 months down the line. It could be half a year down the line. I don't know. I haven't even been able to sign the papers yet because they're still doing my credit score check. They're still doing my background check. They're still doing all that. And obviously, this being the week of Christmas, I don't expect to hear from them for at least another week. But that is something that's happening in the background. That is something I am... is still a whippersnapper level. Yeah. I know. I'm a youngin'. Oh, ye old man in my chat yelling at me. But yeah, I just that for me is just the best path I think I see, because I don't like the idea of because though I don't want to say content creators who do like ask for donations and do push for that stuff are necessarily all greedy bastards or anything like that. I don't want to give that impression, but for me, I don't want to sit here like 3 to 4 times a week begging for subscribers a la DSP and begging for subs and begging for donations and channel memberships to achieve goals in life that I should be able to achieve off my own efforts. I don't know. For me, I don't see it as accomplishing that stuff via my own efforts if it's all donated to me. Because I see donations... Like, I think a lot of YouTubers and streamers see donations as payment for their services. Like, they see it as their just reward for the efforts they put in their content. And depending on what their content is, that to a level, I think that's a fair thought to have. But for me, I don't see donations that way. I see donations as a gift, and just purely that, a gift of pure generosity from people who are very kind and very giving, and that are very much worthy of your respect when they do that, because that is, especially nowadays, that level of generosity is not, I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's 20, I don't care what amount they give you. Giving anything more than just a like or a subscribe is beyond what you could ask for. And, you know, like for me, I don't think of that as my revenue. That's not my revenue. That's people being beyond generous and kind. So I don't, even though I've hit like the 10K, and I like the recent video about the Atom something thing hit what 100,000 views, which is crazy to me. Like I got the notification on my phone for that, and I was like, whoa. All I did was shit down the guy's neck for being dumb. To me, I don't think I did anything special there. I just pointed and laughed at the clown, but a lot of people seem to really gravitate towards it. I mean, it was crazy. But like, despite all that, yeah. So I know I'm kind of rambling at this point, but long story short, thank you guys so much for 10K subs. But due to like financial plans and stuff in the background, I will be absent, and content therefore will also be absent coming soon-ish. Like in the grand scheme of the internet, it's probably not going to be soon. Like I got a Voxwork episode I got to edit together, as Nathan kindly reminded me in his own video made today. Again, write down the name Nathan X2000. He's a very, very fun and funny content creator. He's only got 300 subs, and he needs to get triple that within the month. I demand it. Again, write Nathan X2000, NATHANX 2000. Put in the search bar. Check out the channel. Totally worth a check. Show me your gold pile, you crazy Scot. Gold. Wait, isn't that the Irish thing? Eh, show me a lucky pot of gold. Says the freaking Scots. Actually, if you guys want, I can show you what, King, I'm not that good. Yes, you fucking are. You call me King. You're the one who made that baller-ass review of Space Marine 2. Do not give me that. If I'm a king, you're an emperor, okay? Get them subs, motherfucker. So, if you guys need awesome, like, an awesome personality and content while I'm away at basic training, check out Nathan X2000. He's really worth it. Unlike DSP, you won't allegedly spend 6 figures on a WWE. Did he spend 6 figures on that? I remember hearing a rumor he was like addicted to like a mobile game, like it was some like wrestling game. Did he actually spend 6 figures on it though? Did he? Wait, he had 6 figures to spend on it? Are people actually donating to him that much? I don't know if I want to go down the route of asking too much about DSP. I just know, I know small bits of details and like 1 or 2 clips I've seen over the years. I don't know if I want to ask too many questions. Show me your gold, Scotsman. Scotsman displays kilt collections and bagpipes. I'll show you my kilt. Yeah, fucking I'll tell you this. Christmas was actually pretty... My family shocked me this year. Like, they shot me. Hey, Spiffy on the Mage, how you doing? Sup, I have joined a tad late. No, that's fine, man. Welcome, welcome. All I've done so far is just kind of welcome everybody, thank everybody generally for the 10,000 subs, and quickly explained that, you know, content soon will come to a stop, because in the background I'm gonna be heading to basic training for the Air Guard, the Air National Guard here. And again, it's not full-time military service. I will throw that out there. It's reserve component. That being said, National Guard, how it differs from something like Army Reserves is you do stateside stuff a lot. There are full-time jobs to take advantage of, and you are more likely to deploy than pure reserves, because you can be deployed stateside for state emergencies, and you can be applied. You can be deployed on a federal basis to wherever they need you. So it's reserve with a slightly higher likelihood of deployment than pure reserves, if that makes sense. That's at least my understanding. I'm fine with that. I mean, obviously that might impact things on this end as well, but again, it's all part of the deal, and it's my own efforts to get myself and my girlfriend and hopefully my future wife a house, so we can start a family, so we can start living life properly. Hey Siege, hello Siege, welcome. How you doing, man? Hello and congrats. Thank you so much. Hello to you too. Undead Nudge, my uncle in the your uncle in the Air Force. Cool. Family shock to you too. In a good way, I hope. Important goals, yeah. Does it beat cleaning classrooms? I think so. The thing is, because I'm going to be in the guard, I'm going to have a civilian job when I'm not doing guard duties. So, again, I don't want to spend the whole stream explaining that thing, but I want to explain that detail. So, with the National Guard, again, as it differs from full-time military service, the Guard, once you do basic training in AIT, you go home and you're part-time military. So I'm going to give the Guard, in other words, Uncle Sam, one weekend a month out of my time. And 2 weeks during the summertime to do PT, to catch up on my MOS training. And obviously that's the regular schedule outside of deployments. So that's my part-time schedule, assuming I don't take a full-time job with them, which I might. It depends on what full-time jobs they have that are accessible to me in my home state. Because the reason I'm going Guard as opposed to just pure Army Reserves or full-time military is the upside is it locks you to your state, which I do want to stay here. I like my home state. I've been other places. Despite its flaws, I like my home state. So, you picked an MOS yet? More or less I have. My occupation of choice is security forces. I'm going to hear out the recruiter because he's looking over again all my paperwork, so he's gonna. The Guard recruiter hasn't seen my ASVAB score yet. The ASVAB score I took through the Army guys, they've seen it, so I know what MOS I would take through the Army, but I have not as of now. Will you kill Piotr? No. At least I don't. I hope not. But so I need to hear from the Guard recruiter in regards to what MOSs I even apply for, because I got a 74 on the ASVAB, which isn't amazing, but it isn't bad. Like, it's above average score. So. Sorry. I just, my mom just asked me if, about my grandpa. So, yeah. It was a joke. No, it's fine. You'll be ready for the Civil War. The mini beanie keeps creaming his pants for. Wait, you talking about Tim Pool? Don't even get me started on that. Oh, God. But, yeah. Trying to condense the Guard thing aside. I'm it's mostly a part-time position. I might take advantage of a full-time job with them, but when I come back from AIT and basic training, by the way, AIT is part of boot camp technically. Well, you have boot camp and then you have AIT. Boot camp is like the filtering of like who can handle it and who can't, and meeting their physical standards as well as their mental strains. They're trying to break you down so they can build you back up. And then AIT is where you actually learn how to do your MOS, which is your individual job in the military. I'm going for security forces, which is MP or military police, essentially, just for the Air Force. I might take a different job if they have a better sign-on bonus and better progression, or it just speaks to me more. But for now, security forces is my pick. I believe it or not, I can actually be quite an aggressive guy, and I am very good with a gun. So I think I would benefit from it. Plus, outside of that, I think it'd be a good learning opportunity, because the stress of that job and like having to be the police essentially of a given base, I think there's a lot of that intimidates me about that job, but a lot that I think I'll benefit from. So there's lots about that I like. I have a lot of fun in AIT. I mean, I hope so. I don't know how sarcastic that is, but we'll find out. I don't know. One thing I want to avoid is being like referred to as the old guy in basic, because granted, I know there's going to be plenty of recruits my age, but I imagine the majority are going to be in their teens, like 18, 17, 19. And that's what I'd imagine. Most people either join the military at that age range or don't ever join. At least that's what I've heard. So I just don't want to be the old guy. I mean, after I shave this, I hope I'll blend in, but I don't know. We'll see. Get parenting lessons from this. I mean, yeah. Parenting a bunch of drunk soldiers. Be great. We gotta put those your whippersnappers into place. Yeah. Yay. Oh, God. Anyway. That aside, once AITM Basic is done, part of being part-time in the Guard is you have a day job during the day. So and legally, my job can't fire me if I go off to National Guard training because the military has laws preventing, it's considered retaliatory from your employer if they fire you for leaving the job to go do Guard training and coming back. Because you're going to be gone for like 6 months. Potentially, if you get like the longer like AIT jobs. So a lot of employers don't want to have an employee on the books who obviously they're not paying you during that time, but they don't want one on the books that isn't doing the job for almost 6 months when they would rather have somebody else in that slot that's actually doing the job. But there's laws around the military service that protect you from being fired from your job while you're training for basic. So thankfully, I will have my day job that I currently have to come back to when I finish military training, which is a big bonus because I do like my job. It's not a fun job. It's certainly, at times, it could be very... that's a bit melodramatic. Dehumanizing is not the right word. At times, you could feel a little bit like pond scum, is like what one of my coworkers says. Because you're cleaning up after kids and you're mopping up messes all across the school. So it's at times, especially like when you've pulled out the third sock that a 7-year-old has shoved in the toilet. When you pulled out like that for the third time in the same teacher's toilet that you've told for the bazillionth time, don't let that kid go in there with taking off his sock because he tries to block the pipes. Times like those, you're like, I don't know if I feel like very well treated, but it's just brief moments. For the most part, I'm treated well. It's a decent job, and it's good work. It's good, solid, consistent work. Hey, Gamer Brony, welcome to the stream. Feliz Navidad, Feliz Navidad, and Merry Christmas. I'm a cleaner too. I know that pain. Yeah, it's a living. But I know despite those moments, I do like my job, and to come back to it as well as get the part-time pay from the Guard, as well as take advantage of VA benefits. Again, that the big one for me being that 0% down loan on a house, because that's the only way I can think of where I'm going to be able to afford a house and get my own property. Because I don't want an apartment. Because honestly, an apartment, especially with how expensive apartments are becoming lately in my local area, you're just going to end up losing a lot of money that you could be saving in other circumstances for a house. And if anything, it prevents you from getting your own home for longer if you live in an apartment. So I just want to skip that step and like fighting with a landlord and doing all that. And I can skip that step because there are opportunities like the military. So anyway, now that I've spent a huge amount of time explaining that and going through that, 10,000 subs. Thank you guys so very much for that. Let me catch you up for the chat. Also, kids are going to learn with a literal military t-shirt. Sure. They don't learn for crap right now, despite who's over there. I made a point at my last school to make friends with the cleaning and maintenance team because they can make things happen. Yes, we can. We can also prevent things from happening. We have paperwork too. They're the school staff. They really are. They're like, despite the fact that we're treated the worst by like the higher ups in like the district and stuff, without us, the place literally falls apart. So yeah, like maintenance staff for any facility, whether it's a school district or a large company building, Without them, you don't have much of an operating facility. So despite that they may get the shit end of the stick a lot of the time, sometimes literally, it's good to not piss people off when they literally can make your toilets work. Hope you had a great Christmas. I have had a great Christmas. I'm actually, I'll show some of what my family got me because they shocked me this year. My mom got me this shirt. I'd rather be painting miniatures. I feel like I want to wear this on like the next time like I'm called into an unnecessary meeting at work because we get meetings too and they're very dumb. Next time I get called into an unnecessary meeting, I'm just gonna put this shirt on. Just gonna put this in my car in like a plastic bag, hide it underneath my seat, and then whenever I get the call, like, hey, we gotta have like a staff meeting real quick, I'm just gonna go outside, pull it out from underneath my car seat, get inside the building, go to the bathroom, switch out my shirts, and just see if any of them read the shirt. Yeah, my mom got me this because she knows me too well. I know. I appreciate that. That was I do like this shirt. I do want to take good care of it. So I'd rather be painting miniatures. Did you have this subscriber count when you did reactions? No. I like the height of the reaction channel way back when I had 5,000 subs. I think. It was around 5,000 subs was the highest I got. It was growing actively when I stopped doing reactions. But, you know, for those who know that story, I stopped doing them. Short version. I stopped doing reactions on the reaction channel I did back when I was in, like, high school. Because the content felt bad to do after a while. Like, it was... First off, it was very repetitive. And second of all, it felt very unsatisfying to do. Like, creatively. Like... It's not that fun, and it felt like a content mill after a while. Like it felt like I was making YouTube a job, and quite frankly, I could have made it a job if I'd kept at the pace I was going. I could have hit 10,000 subs within like another year of doing that, but I stopped because content felt lazy. It didn't feel very creatively satisfying, and I know I'm doing reactions again now. But I'm kind of reasoning to do it because I'm just not having enough of like the creative stuff. I'm still working on creative stuff in the background, like the Voxwork podcast, lore videos and stuff like that. I'm still working on that stuff. But at the same time, the YouTube algorithm has switched back for me for some reason to wanting more uploads. So I'm doing more to feed the algorithm a little bit, just because I do want to, when I do upload those bigger videos, like the lore videos, or when I upload the Voxwork videos, I want those to get pushed in the algorithm. So the reactions I do are just to make sure the channel stays alive in the algorithm. So when those go up, more people see them because I want those to be pushed. The reactions are a means to an end. They're just to keep the channel in the algorithm. I don't care if they do well. I don't care if they get demonetized. The point of them is just so the content I actually like and care about gets pushed. Especially the Voxwork podcast, because that's not just me. That's two of my best buds also helping me make those videos. So those, I want that investment of our time to be at least seen. I don't really care about the revenue side of it too much. I have a day job, and like I just explained, I'm perfectly happy. I'm joining the military to hit certain financial goals rather than rely on like e-begging. So for me, it's not the revenue aspect of it. I mean, that's nice. I'm not going to pretend that's not cool sometimes, but the big reason is it's just the time investment. I would like people to actually see the content, and if the algorithm doesn't push the videos, it kind of feels shitty. So that's why reactions are coming back to this channel from like live streams and stuff. It's just to facilitate the channel staying in the algorithm. And it's a cheap way to do it, but it's the only way I could think of, because I tried to think of like short form, quick edited content that I could do, and also keep live streams as well, helping the channel and the algorithm. All I could come up with was that. Maybe I just couldn't think of something, but yeah. So, but I am working on a Voxwork podcast episode, so hopefully you guys will get to see that again soon. Tell Cree, hey, you doing, man? Congrats on 10K Asmogan. Best of luck with going into the guard. Thank you so much. I am sadly not hearing the best about it. Well, hopefully the whatever bad stories you're hearing, I don't experience. I will find out. Obviously, I know I might. I'm not gonna lie. There is a chance that this is going to be a bad decision, but that's the truth with any decision in life, right? Like investing in this thing or spending your time on this thing, doing this hobby, buying. At the end of the day, you just got to weigh the pros and cons. And if the cons of the guard is just there's a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of like deployments that are just a waste of time or feel shitty, and is it really that much worse than the day job? Now, obviously, if they send me into a combat zone and I get shot at, the answer is yes. But I don't see that happening as much necessarily. Not saying it won't happen. Obviously, it can. But I don't know. I'm that 0% down loan. I'm actually willing to get shot at for that a little bit, for sure. I'm not gonna lie, because the amount of stress that'll save me, I think it's worth it. I've done the weighing of the pros and cons. I think in the long term it's gonna be worth it. Something neat. All the shipping based presents we got literally came in on Christmas Eve. Wow, really? That's cool. I mean, my local there was some kind of news I heard. I don't know all the details, but apparently there was some kind of shipping pause that happened. Like a lot of people were expecting packages the day before Christmas Eve or on Christmas Eve here in Maine. And then suddenly like there was like a bunch of people getting like emails and stuff from whether they bought it from Amazon or they bought it through eBay and it's coming through UPS or FedEx. Just across the board, there was just a huge like bunch of people getting delays to January. In fact, one gift I got from my dad, because he's building his own gaming PC. So I bought him the tower, which arrived, and then I also bought a couple days after I got that a power supply for him. And then the rest was I was gonna let him fill in the gaps of the rest of his PC build. So I got those two things. I got the tower to build everything inside of, and then the power supply. The power supply, I got a text because I was expecting that Christmas Eve, and then I got a text, like a lot of people did, that from the manufacturer and the shipping saying that it's going to be delayed till January 20th, I think is what it was. And I'm like, what happened? Like it went from being like, hey, it's going to come in like 2 days to now it's not going to be there till well after I needed it. So that sucks. Though he's going to get a surprise present January, at least I guess. DSP will outlive us all somehow. I mean, that I will say this. It's been kind of interesting watching DSP outlive a lot of creators. Like, it's scary. Like, the guy is an out and open, honest, greedy dude. Like, he's very honest with the fact that he only does the content for constant donations. I don't even think he enjoys content creation, at least not from, like, for him, it's just a means to an end of living. Which is fine. I mean, to an extent. Yeah, he's a pig. I mean, he really is. Like that's the other side of it, right? It's one thing to be like just out and open, honest with like the greed of like the content mill. But then there's the extra mile he goes of being like super like correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't watch him regularly, but I've seen clips. Doesn't he constantly like say in his streams like, "Oh guys, we gotta hit this like donation and we'll do this thing. Hey guys, we're gonna do this donation. We gotta hit this donation goal. Guys, we're just not hitting the donation like this episode. Like, come on, what's going on? What's going on?" And then he like starts games but stops playing them because he didn't get enough donations. Like, I know that, and obviously like there's the legendary moment where he left his camera on when he satisfied himself. Like, I don't know. Oh. All right, real quick, let me check the Discord. So I got 2 people who are in the waiting call who want to bring some stuff up. So I'm going to bring in a couple callers. Reminder for what I'm about to do. So in the description, there is a link to my call line Discord. On it is like how I bring people in on my open mics that I've done in the past. I don't know if we're gonna do another one of those soon, but I did a show called Open Mic on YouTube where I had callers come on and kind of bring up topics or talk about a topic. Today we're kind of doing that as well for part of like the AMA or part of like the socialization of this stream. So I'm gonna bring in the first caller, and if you guys want to hop in and just ask a question or bring up a topic, open up an OnlyFans, dude. I mean, I'm losing weight, so once I hit that 6 pack, who knows, you know? No. Hello.
Brother,
How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Asmogan.
Thank you.
So I heard you are joining the US Corp, the US Army or whatever.
The Air National Guard, which is a reserve branch of the Air Force, United States Air Force.
Oh, did you join because Trump recently won?
Not because of. Honestly, I was considering it all the
Because
way up
if
to
you
the
ask
election.
me,
I
that's a huge morale boost. Like fuck yeah,
Yeah,
the
it has been.
country can heal.
No,
Yeah.
I will say what tipped me over to thinking of it as a viable option from where I was just kind of like considering it before was Trump getting into office, because I know at the very least, like, with not to get too political in this stream, but with Kamala in, ain't no way in hell I was gonna jump into the military, because
Nah.
ain't no way in hell. Like, she was being supported by a bunch of war hawks at Congress. She was definitely going to push a lot of the same things Biden had been doing, especially with the Ukraine conflict. War was only going to get worse with her in
I
office,
mean,
and no.
the Democrats are escalating to World War III. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
with the
wholesale.
Ukraine missiles and shit like that.
Yeah, I honestly, it was just not a viable option. I was under the mindset of, if Kamala gets in, first of all, if I don't want to fight for a country that votes that level of idiocy into office. Second of all, the amount of like danger she's gonna put troops in unnecessarily. Like, no, oh hell no. Like, not under that kind of presidency would I consider service. But with
Yeah,
Trump
or
coming in, I
yeah,
definitely feel leadership is going to be in with the correct headspace with war and
definitely.
conflict. If we doing it into war, I know that it's not because my president flagrantly threw my life away. It's because it was the actual final option. Because as far as I've ever seen from Trump, he is not pro-war.
And now you can fight for the emperor, literally.
Right for the God Emperor, I suppose so.
Boys, I bought you Power Hammer, the best Power Hammer the US troops will ever get. And now you walk in Mark III Power Hammer.
Ah,
Come and
that,
get
that
it, bitch.
that'd be fun if there was like a Space Marine program that started. I mean, I guess that there is technically that, because if you are a Marine in the Marine Corps and then you transfer after your contract is up to Space Force, would that not by definition make you a Space Marine?
Also, you get top gene seats. The best of the best. Only for you, Gilliman, my
Only the best of
son.
the best for the troops.
You want the bolt gun, you get the bolt gun.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice that you support your country. Something that I seriously can't say to my country in Germany right now.
Yeah. I admittedly I'm not up to date on everything that's going on in Germany.
Yeah,
I
then forget it.
do.
Let's not talk about it.
Nope, that's fair. That's fair.
If you want to, I can, but
Mm,
okay, I tell you. So, they say it wasn't a terrorist, but let's be honest, it was a guy who attacked on a Friday, a holy day for the Muslims, and he drove like fucking plowed through the Christmas festival killed multiple children, and then he was like, I'm okay, sorry, I didn't want to, don't kill me. And our government is frankly protecting him at the moment.
Fuck. Damn.
Yeah, many Germans are. The news are calling us Nazis,
Oh,
even the Muslims. Not the Muslims. I mean, the news are even calling the Muslims that are condemning this Nazis. It's so fucking idiots.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
children, my man, children.
I wish I had something clever to say to that, but I
Le-
do not. I hope things improve, man.
Yeah, man. Let's hope, but let's not dwell on this. This is a happy stream. The best of the
Indeed.
best, only in Asmogan.
True enough. I mean, thank you so much for hopping in, man. I appreciate it. I'm gonna pull Trip in next, but yeah, thank you.
Yo, yo, Merry Christmas.
Yep. Merry Christmas, and thank you for helping me on my journey to 10K. I appreciate it, man.
No problem.
Oh, hey, Pip 911 and Walt Kowalski. Welcome, Camel Harris. The nicknames for her, like, there's a lot of them. Sorry, I just thought of a meme. Oh, there was that guy who went on stage to support her, where he's like, "No, Kamala Harris, she's gonna get her head down, she's gonna get to work." Sorry. All right, politics out the window. Favorite Capcom game? I don't actually. I need examples. I know Street Fighter, obviously, but before I say Street Fighter, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say before them. Were they the Capcom made Mega Man, right? Because if so, Mega Man X. Easily. If they weren't, yeah, they were. Okay, I'm just scrolling through. They did Mega Man. Okay, so Mega Man X. Easily. All right, I'm gonna pull in Trip. Trip, how you doing?
Good.
Goody.
Yep. Well, yep. Well, let's try for plans or one topic I have in mind is did you see the Space Marine episode on Secret Level?
Yes, I did. Actually, I have a reaction video up on the channel.
Oh man, I must have missed it. Oh well, I'll look at
That's
that
fine.
later.
I got a mixed reception on that reaction. A lot of people got really nitpicky about my nitpicks, which is fair, I suppose. You know, if you're gonna nitpick, your nitpicks can get nitpicked. A bunch of people like hopped on my butt about the diamond tip of the bolter. You know.
Well, there is diamantine that does exist.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, in my recollection when I was watching it, and even still now, whenever I think about like the old school explanations for bolter rounds, I always remember people bringing up graphs and like drawing pictures of a bolter round, and they almost always had a diamond like tip. Additionally, when it comes to the
there is animantine as well. That's
yeah, I know there's that as well, but you like typically you also see like the diamantine tip is like the most popular one, at least as far as I recall always reading about lore wise. So in that moment when I was like looking at that, that's what I was thinking of, and when I remember the explanation and the description of diamantine tips. It like in my mind it was they resembled diamond, which it does say that in the lore, but not as in aesthetically. On a molecular level they resemble diamond. So
well, I mean, this was probably subcontracted outwards, and the person who probably heard diamantine probably filled in it. But if that's the biggest mistake they made,
I don't even think it's a mistake. Like I didn't even say it was a mistake.
No, I'm just saying if that was the biggest mistake they made, they're doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, they did an amazing job. Like that's the thing. The secret level episode for 40K, that is the closest to 40K done accurately in any media I've ever seen. Like, the only thing I think they did wrong, quote unquote, is the speed of the Space Marines. And even then, they did very, very good. They
reacted to biker gang
cultists. Yeah, the reaction speed was great and perfect, in fact. It was the running speed. The way they animated running in the secret level animation that they did it more akin to Astartes, where they do move incredibly fast, far faster than anything that heavy should be able to move. However, lore-wise, Space Marines running is like a blur of motion, and they don't necessarily run, they bolt. Like, they do Hulk jumps. That's their run, lore-wise. So a Space Marine should be able to close a mile's distance from a target in seconds. They're that fast. So, at the same time, with that though, that is, I admit, an extreme nitpick. This is when I pointed that out as well as the Diamante tip. All of those I acknowledged were nitpicks. Overall, like, I don't mind when media doesn't portray that, because at the same time, it's one of those things where if they did portray that 100% lore accurate, that would be kind of like, I feel like it would be cheesy. Like, I think like a lot of audiences would kind of disconnect entirely from like watching a Space Marines fight, because that speed is just so comically over the top that watching them move and run in battle would kind of get almost cartoony. So I don't mind when, like, for example, Simon Peterson himself, which apparently he worked on the secret level animation, which was cool. But Simon Peterson, when he did Astartes and he showed their running as that's really fast speed, but again, not doing the Hulk jumping, I didn't mind it, and I didn't mind the secret level not doing that, because despite the fact that isn't necessarily 100% lore accurate, showing 100% lore accuracy in that regard, I think is always fair not to do, because it's a small thing. And I think it would completely disengage people's brains from relating to them as fighters. As it is, you're already not supposed to relate to them, but you are supposed to be able to comprehend them, I think. And something like that turns from comprehensible, or near incomprehensible, but comprehensible still, to over the line of incomprehensible, and I think it breaks the uncanny valley. So,
weird question. Do you think the demon was Tzeentch or an undivided demon?
Tzeentch. What pushes me over to Tzeentch is obviously it's two things. Obviously, it's the fact that it popped out of a statue of a changer of ways, or a a statue. It wasn't a statue of Tzeentch. It was a greater demon of Tzeentch.
Changer of ways. Yeah, they're called changers of ways.
Okay, they are called changer of ways. So it came out of a statue of a changer of ways from the staff tip. So that tells me different, as well as the Zongors that they encountered in the Abyss. Both those details heavily point towards it being Tzeentch. Very clearly, that's the heavy implication. The only thing that makes me think it's an undivided demon is the aesthetic of the demon itself. Like, if
it's just strange and wild, which, hey,
yeah,
more forms of demons to look at is nice. That's always a nice variation to do.
Yeah, and I like the. By the way, I want a miniature of that design, because I don't know if there already is one, but off the top of my head, I don't know any miniature that looks like that. So that looked really, really cool and felt very uncanny, and it made demons in 40K scary again, because one thing I think is a downside of a lot of the video games for 40K, not just Space Marine 2, but like everything from Bolt Gun and onwards, one thing I think is a negative of them is how they make demons feel beatable and less of an overwhelming threat, whereas the secret level animation, they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. With the
we see him basically literally pretty much cancel all 5 of them and killed 3 of them without a problem. And
well, I guess if you include the Psyker, there was 5. Yeah, because you have the 4 Space
Marines. Well, yeah, true. Well, I meant Space Marines, but yeah. And I love that's what was in the little sarcophagus that Titus was apparently dragging.
I actually figured it was a Psyker. I didn't voice that. but I kind of figured that at the beginning of the animation.
I was thinking it was either a bomb, but it kind of makes sense.
For me, the thing that made me think it was a psyker from the get was the sarcophagus shape. If it was a bomb, it would have. I don't think it would have been that shape. At least, granted, the Imperium is not above a aesthetic bomb, right? Shaped like a person or shaped like an emperor statue. It's not above that necessarily. That is within the Imperium's quirkiness. But I safely assumed it was either a psyker or a demon possessed or a null psyker was like my thing. It was either a psyker or a null psyker.
Blank.
Yeah.
Pariah.
Yep.
Sorry, I have these terms hammered into my head.
That's fine.
Then again, I'm a psyker who is in a game with 2 blanks.
Well, Kowalski says
Tabletop RPG.
Yeah, just real quick. I was just eyeballing the chat.
Yeah, I should be going because you got guests. You got 2 more.
No. Yep. Well, thank you for hopping on, man. I appreciate it.
Yep. But yeah. Oh wait, the Dungeons and Dragons one was nice too.
I haven't seen that one. I've only seen the Armored Core one, the Pac-Man one. That one I hated, but the quote unquote Pac-Man one.
I thought that was Abe for a second when they saw that model.
I don't know what the fuck they did with that. Like that was so weird.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Have a good one, man. Thank you for helping the journey to 10K. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yep. All right. Let me catch up with the chat before I pull in the next caller. Merry Christmas, brothers. Merry Christmas, Lafayette. Wolkowski says, people think they are humans, but they are not human. They are just another step. Pure war biomachines. That is correct. He was a sorcerer, not a demon. I'm assuming you're referring to the creature that came out of the staff. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be a demon. If that was a sorcerer, that sorcerer was very corrupted. Very uniformly corrupted. But change, as there was a journo who said that the demon was Tzeentch himself. Really? I didn't realize Tzeentch was so cuttable. Nah, that's stupid. You think you hate journos enough? No, I don't think anyone... I don't think I hate journos enough. I constantly am surprised by my renewed hatred of them every time I read something new. His powers comes from this stick. Titus destroy this stick in Dream Dimension. I'm a blank in a game with a psyker. Fun times. He looks like a demon. If he's not a demon, he's massively possessed or an alien. Maybe, I will say that. Maybe he was an alien sorcerer. I could see that. I mean, obviously, no, regardless of the semantics of whether he was a demon or not, he was certainly not human to the degree of corrupted that he was. Again, I've seen nothing saying definitively he wasn't a demon, so I'm still assuming it was still a demon, just like a sorcerer type demon. But let's say, for the sake of the argument, that it is just a corrupted individual. When you're corrupted to that point where you don't resemble a human or whatever you might have been before, you're pretty much a demon. Like at that point, like that level of transformation is like on the same level of Angron getting turned into what he is now, and he's effectively a demon. He's a demon Primarch. Like that level of corruption, you might as well just be called a demon anyway. Titus, one of the 3 good Ultramarines. You have 3. I don't have 3. Alright, I'm going to pull in Undead as a grifter. Hey, Undead.
Hey.
Merry Christmas.
I don't know why, but my microphone has been doing something weird as of late. This thing is like 2 years old now. Anyway, that's enough. Boy, Christmas time and a Happy New Year, they say.
Hopefully, Happy New Year.
Well, Well, I'm prepared of whatever hardships we have coming up next year, but hey, let's look at the positives, because everyone's so damn negative now. Let's see, the Switch dose, my trip to Japan, and that's about it.
Oh, awesome. Have you already gone on the trip to Japan? Is this past tense or is this coming up?
No, this is my first time going.
Okay.
If that's what you asked me.
No, I was asking if you already gone and you were referring to the trip you did, or is it a trip that's upcoming? Like you're going.
It's a trip that's upcoming.
Okay. Well, I hope you have fun, man. There's lots of cafes to go to, lots of arcades to visit. Are you going to Tokyo or?
We're going to Tokyo and we're going to Osaka for the Universal Park over there.
That's awesome, man. I mean, congrats to you.
It's sad because we got the new Donkey Kong. They got the new Donkey Kong ride, but in exchange they had to get rid of the Spider-Man ride. At least there.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Like, seriously, congrats. I'd like to go to Japan someday, but that's towards the bottom of the priority list right now.
And boy, what's going on as of late? You know, in the news, media, entertainment, you know, all that kind of crap. I know you used to watch the Nostalgia Critic. Did you saw his Disney December of The Acolyte?
I did not. I haven't watched a Nostalgia Critic video or Channel Awesome content in general. I want to say in the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh, it said.
Yeah,
anyway, basically, he said he didn't like the show, but he still called out people like us who are criticizing it. You know?
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, the thing about Doug is that, yeah, he makes fun of both sides, but it can get obnoxious because the dude has massive TDS, you know?
Oh, yeah.
He unnecessarily puts it in his videos.
That, again, doesn't surprise me. And Channel Awesome was always kind of leaning that way. I think a lot of, like, the old school...
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, one of the last reviews I saw, even in a review like the 2016 female Ghostbusters movie review that they did.
Oh no. They jabbed both.
They jabbed both, but there was certainly more of a demeaning jab towards the people that they deemed only hating on it because of women, rather than like the lazy writing, which was the actual majority of people criticizing it.
So, I mean, to be fair, the name Meninist is pretty funny.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, the Channel Awesome has always had a bit of not a strong one, I would say. Not like by comparison to like actual bread tubers, it's certainly more underneath the surface. But yeah, I never had a doubt in my brain that Doug or his brother were lefties. Not that it matters.
Yeah, I don't think they're far lefties. I just think it's kind of the case of
I wouldn't
like
say so.
Arnold. I think it's the case of Arnold Schwarzenegger having TDS. Like it comes in a spectrum, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to change the subject. Boy, so next year? Here, of course, seems. I mean, I think after this election, still shame on the industry for waiting for an election for them to start changing stuff. I know we're in the early stages. All right, I know there's negative ass people out there who like to say, hey, no, man, they're not gonna get rid of the woke shit. They're gonna bring in bridge or something like that. And then I'm like, you know, there's always the noose, Robin Williams. I know that's dark.
Actually, right now, I'm starting to see a concerning thing. Not that I want to dwell on it too long. I mean, it depends on how much you guys want to talk about it. But I've noticed something that's starting to concern me. The, what was it called? Someone coined a term. The woke right. I think it was the term. Right? Yeah, so a couple of content creators and like voices that have been pushing like right-leaning stuff, or at the very least anti-woke stuff the last few years. Like I think one of them was what's her name? Melanie Mack. Is that her name?
Yeah.
Apparently she went on Twitter and like, you know how the left have been like shaming anybody who like Stellar Blade and stuff like that because of like the sexy body type?
Yeah.
Well,
are you talking about the video she did when she constantly screamed the F word, the F slur?
Oh no, I don't know about that. All I know is like what I'm referring to is a Twitter post. Someone shared apparently like a clip from a video game called The First Descendant where there's like a skimpy outfit you could put on female characters and you could do a dance where like they shake their hips. Someone just shared a clip of that and a bunch of anti-woke YouTubers who some of which I like, some of which I'm ambivalent towards, like Melanie Mac. I don't watch her content. But like a bunch of them jumped on it and immediately started kind of sounding like wokies because they were complaining about like the objectification of women and just from a different angle to the.
I think that's just a minor issue.
I hope it is because I don't like that vibe. Yeah, I don't want to go back to the Jack Thompson days, especially like we just started pushing the woke off of this shit, and now we have to push the evangelical folks on the right off of it again. I'd rather not start that fight already immediately after.
Here's the thing. I'm very religious myself, and something that people don't know about like the sexualization, part of it is like I might get into preacher mode here, so put on your hats, folks. Like lust is only a sin because of what people like Harvey Weinstein or P. Diddy did. Like, of course you're allowed to find someone attractive or have sex. That's why God created Adam and Eve. But like, I think like how it consumes people is what really makes it a sin, and that's what I think at least the extreme Christians need to realize. And of course the wokies who like to go, hey, I thought you were against it, you evil dumbass Christians. Oh, how dare you hate the gays. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's right. Like I'm a Christian too. I'm a Baptist, and like for me, I don't see like liking attractive or sexy women in a video game as even an expression of lust. Lust is like the actions of like like a to be vulgar, like a whore. That's an expression of lust, like by the sin of it. That like collecting a bunch of sex toys, I would say, to an extent, especially if it's absurd amounts of them, that can be an expression of lust.
Look at Quagmire for being allowed.
Yeah, like that, like that's the sin of lust. Playing a video game that has attractive female models and making one of them do a dance, that's to me that's nowhere near the criteria that I would say is fair to call it lust by the sin of it.
As long as you're not treating women like that in the real world, it's
fine,
you
know? Yeah, like it's just imagination, and that's where you can explore those thoughts. As long as you don't turn those thoughts into active desires for like real things and then act upon them, you've not committed the sin of lust. That's always been my understanding. So I completely reject outright like that notion that a lot of the evangelicals push.
Apparently one of the Wachowskis, the creators of The Matrix, one of them truly did have dysphoria. The other one apparently transitioned because of a porn addiction. So that definitely shows you what can happen to you,
Oh yeah, that can.
But yeah, going on to one more thing, like I definitely see things changing behind the scenes, like not just in video games, but in entertainment. In fact, I don't think we have much news on the video game side as of late, but yeah, like Disney with the whole win or lose show, removing a trans storyline. Why would you put that in the damn show to begin with? No. Like, I know it's something some kids like deal with, but most of them grow out of it and want to be a hunky dude like I am. Sorry, I'm kind of comedic and have an ego, but
that's fine.
But, and then like Marvel as of late, like yeah, there's that rumor Chris Gore shared, but they recasted Sentry when Stephen Yeun. I still haven't seen The Walking Dead or Invincible yet. Because he was in both of those. After the Asian guy left, they recasted a white dude, and keep in mind this was before the election. And like Galactus, they apparently wanted a Latino actor, and then boom, he's a cracker again. I'm sorry, I say that word a lot, particularly on my YouTube channel. Easy. But yeah, I think things are going in a good direction. It's like my problem is like Hey, well, first of all, apparently Zachary Levi said he wasn't cost any jobs after his Trump endorsement, especially since he won. You know, my dream is to become a filmmaker. Like I said in the YouTube chat earlier, if my dreams go to waste and everyone treats me like shit, I'll just, maybe join the military or something. But yeah, like that's my dream. Like I don't want to be shunned all because I'm different. Like that's what I'm still worried about, because it's particularly in the voice acting sphere. Like there are a ton of voice actors, not mainstream ones, because I've worked with some before. I'm doing a comic dub. I can't explain what it is because I don't want to self-advertise. But and after this conversation, I'll get out of here.
No,
but
you're cool. Don't rush.
But like a lot of people, particularly in the entertainment field, are very nasty. It's not as simple as, hey, I'm a Democrat. It's just simple as in, if you voted for this guy, go to hell. I hope you feel no love and you feel misery in your life. Like that unfortunately happened with a podcast I used to listen to like a lot. I've communicated with some of those people on that podcast, but yeah, one of them just had a rant like that, and I'm like, so much for the tolerant left, because you want me to feel miserable because I voted for someone you don't like. He doesn't even live in the US. That's the irony. So yeah, my biggest fear is like I do think me going into Hollywood, LA, the reason why I still want to do that is because like, come on, wouldn't it be cool to just work on a Marvel or a DC or do an adaptation like Steven Spielberg has done a ton of those. But like that's basically what I want. But what I'm worried about is behind the scenes bullying or behind the scenes discrimination. Because that definitely happens. Like we saw Will Wheaton when Zachary Levi came out and supported Trump,
Yeah. And yeah, that is something that is concerning at the moment. And I get your desire to want to work there. I mean, I wouldn't want to right now, but I do hope things get better. I think that one of the last places to get cleaned up, though, in that regard, at least behind the scenes. I think in front of the scenes, I think in front of the camera, they're gonna start singing a different tune soon. But I think behind the scenes, the culture that they've expressed more openly these last few years is going to be quite alive for a while longer. I hope I'm wrong about that. I hope Hollywood does get back to just making fun and good stories that, like they used to, stories that people from all spectrums of life, whether that be, race, sex, gender, or ideological, they make things that everyone can participate in and enjoy and have better, more interesting, and nuanced conversations about than they have the last few years. But
because of people like Mark Hamill and George Takei, like I don't follow anybody anymore.
Yeah.
Like yeah, I saw Ben Schwartz posting about the Sonic movie, and I'm like, I could follow this guy, but I really don't feel like it because I don't know what's gonna be in his bio, or I don't know what's gonna this or that. I don't want to know. No one in the chat say it, but it's like, yeah, like I don't even follow YouTubers anymore unless I trust them, because Markiplier said F pro-life people during the Roe v. Wade thing, so that means he's saying fuck me. So yeah, he did. The tweet's still up.
Oh.
But and yeah, it's quite a sad reality we have to live in. And I hope things get better. I hope even the most assholey of people like John Leguizamo become more accepting. Like I'm the kind of guy who believes in redemption. I'm not miserable all the time. But yeah. And before I go, I will say this, since I mentioned Will Wheaton earlier, but my mom was part of his fan club when she was a kid. She had a crush on him.
Oh, okay.
And now look at him now. That's kind of heartbreaking that you wasted all your money doing that.
I mean, everyone has their tastes.
Yeah.
I suppose. Well, thank you for slipping on, man, and thank you for the support in the background. And yeah, I wish you lots of fun and enjoying the future, especially with that trip to Japan coming up. So have a good one, man.
I hope I kind of want to go to the Suicide Forest and go all Logan Paul over there.
Oh God, please don't.
I want to. I just fucking. I'm not gonna post it on YouTube, but I'm just maybe I could see if that same body's still there. It's just decomposed.
Sweet Jesus. All right, have a good night, man.
Those people are weird. Bye.
Bye. Fucking A. Wow. All right. I feel I was waiting. I'm just gonna catch up with chat real quick. Jesus Christ. I remember being soured on him after I watched the video where he reviewed ads and he mentioned the wage gap. Oh, yeah. The Melanie Mac shenanigans. Yeah, I don't know the full details about that. I've seen what I know of it is I've seen the clip that she reacted to. She didn't do a video on it, as far as I know, but I've seen the clip that she responded to and replied to on Twitter, and it was nothing that bad. Like, there's way worse in a lot of video games that she likes, in fact. So for me, it was just very strange to see that tune change, like kind of rapid tune change too. And it wasn't just her; there was a couple others apparently that were also content creators, or at the very least voices that are larger than just some randos on Twitter, that were also kind of talking about it and like saying like, "Oh, any decent person that isn't disgusted by this." Making a lot of assertions and then using faith as a shield for shitty statements and opinions like that. I don't know. Like, that immediately pissed me off because it's like Trump isn't even in office yet and you guys are already turning into the Jack Thompson types. We just finished having to fight the woke about video games and stuff. I don't want the same crap that the right used to push so goddamn much to immediately come right back up. Like, it's just something I don't think any of us want to fucking deal with. So I hope to God that was an isolated incident, and it was just a bad take, like a random bad take. And I truly hope it's not indicative of things to come. But I am not under the assumption that it is truly just a one-off. I hope it's not, but I don't know, man. That would really fucking suck to immediately start having to push back on people on both sides, like to be the rope in a game of tug of war between the woke left and the woke right, both bitching about video games and asserting things that are absolutely bullshit. So I just, fingers crossed it was an isolated incident. Yeah, you don't like it, don't look at it. Exactly, yeah. It's just a silly thing to get up in arms about. It's the only problem if you goon 24/7. Well, nah, I'm not gonna go down that route. That is a problem, yes, but there's a bunch to that I could elaborate on. But I don't want to turn into a whole like me preaching here. Some sexy is totally fine. Exactly, like it's a video game character. It's pixels on a screen. If a guy wants to play a video game because there's attractive ladies in it and he gets to see let's be honest, a PG-13 ass shot, who cares? It's if anything, it's less gratuitous than looking at a real girl and checking her ass out and stuff. It's a little bit less gratuitous because it's a 3D model in a video game. Like, no real person you're checking out and bothering with like your lustfulness. It's literally nothing. Like, your women good looking, thick, and in clothes, 2 numbers too small. Jesus Christ. I can respect that though. Lust is complicated because it's a sin that often has 2 parties to blame. Causing someone to fall into sin of lust is worse than lusting yourself. That is true. Yes. This is going to turn into a whole thing. Anyway. They won't. Yeah, I don't think Hollywood will anytime soon, but I'm not going to rule out the possibility. I do think that Hollywood's going to change their open tune, because they're not going to want to draw a lot of public ire more than they already have accrued. So I do think publicly Hollywood's going to stop with the narrative pushing. I think it is going to turn into more of a background thing. Not immediately. This is going to it's going to take a couple years to see the full swing, and then they're going to swing right back the moment they feel publicly safe to do so. It reeks of the old satanic panic from the 80s and 90s. It does. That's why I'm concerned. Yeah, I don't watch Melody Mac, so I don't know like the full breadth of her thoughts on these kinds of things, and I am reacting to her reply to a tweet. So I'm not going to make any assertions other than I have a bad feeling, and I really hope that feeling does not get elaborated upon. The only thing is that there is a lot of people whose main concern seems to be that the wokies are stopping them looking at video games as instead of the writing, the culture, etc. Yes, I will say like the primary concern is the writing and the actual like narrative and world building and settings. All that is certainly more important. But I also think it's perfectly valid to push back against the woke on that on the granted more juvenile but fair level of an ass shot in a video game. It's still silly on both fronts. It's silly to get up in arms about, and it's silly to fight about it in the first place. It's both. It's the big concern absolutely should be narrative, world building, cultural stuff. Yeah, absolutely. That is the primary thing. And I think that's the primary thing for most people. But the sexy characters thing, I don't think it's an invalid thing to push back on the woke against, because they're the ones saying that it's not okay. But their reasons are, quite frankly, very stupid. At least with the evangelical biblical types, there's a bit more of a fairness with like the angle they're coming from. But again, it's completely misplaced. It's completely misplaced efforts and energies in regards to it. In my opinion, of course. Hey, Peters, how you doing, my man? Welcome to stream. Hollywood has always been red. What? Agree to disagree, I suppose. Unless you were thinking of something very specific. To be fair, I prefer public push ending than behind the scenes change. I think I would prefer both, like public facing change as well as behind the scenes change. I think a lot of these people will drop the cause and seal clap along with the wokies if they get some 3D rendered strange. Some of them will, that's for sure. It's red as in communist. Oh, if that's what you mean, then yes, you are correct. Ayo, andare. Of good gaming. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. How you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. Yeah, I've been hanging out with the wonderful Chads and based individuals here. I'm gonna pull in Afiel, and then I'm gonna like hang out more with the chat. I've always been pinkos. Alright, let me pull in Afiel. Get me headset back on. Afiel, how you doing?
Ahoy, how are you?
I am doing great. Celebrating the 10K subs, and I had a pretty good Christmas. How about you?
I mean, I had a pretty like fun Christmas and a fun year in general.
Awesome.
And actually, I just dropped by to talk about some hobby stuff and some.
Oh, please do. Please take me away from the political conversation I just had to go through.
When you were talking about that weird like Chaos Demon Sorcerer in the secret level, and my girlfriend, when we watched it, was like, that's an oddly specific fleshy demon. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking? And she's like, in my sister books, normally the demons go poof into like warp dust or some shit. And that one was oddly specific, as flashy as the Zangors. Because she's totally into burn heretics with flame and melter, you know. And then she was like, normally they go and make ash clouds and stuff like that, and that one was like, you know, split like a sausage.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I appreciated the gore on him. I was kind of weirded out. I don't know if you saw my reaction to it, but in it, and I'm still kind of wondering this, when they were cutting up the Zongors, they had luminescent blue blood. which
Yeah,
I've
checked my old
never seen
codices.
that.
I checked my old codices and I never read anything about
Yeah,
bioluminescent. But it seems so. It's probably some fuckery, and it looked awesome in that shot, you know.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it did look awesome, and just for the rule of cool, I don't have a problem with it. But I will say I was surprised. Like normally when I think
Yeah,
of
I
like
get the
killing
feeling.
Zongors, and when it comes to models, I've seen a lot of people like have like dead Zongors on their bases and stuff, and they use like blood for the blood god for them, so just red blood, or
Yeah.
they have them turn to dust.
The thing
Normally,
is, there's another monster in 40k where I would imagine it would have been like some blue bioluminescent shit, and that would be when you got a screamer killer.
yeah.
There I would imagine there will be some blue shit coming out of it.
Actually, you know what the blood reminded me of? I know this is completely random, and I won't go on too much of a tangent about it, but just to kind of throw it out there, it reminded. Have you seen Pacific Rim?
Yes.
Do you remember the?
Was it when they first time used the sword and he like slice and dice the one
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, like that. Their luminescent blood and the gore, like very much was akin to that. I don't know if that was an inspiration, but that's what that like reminded me of.
Probably, because if you remember in Pacific Rim, the scene when they were fighting in the city and the Gypsy Danger used that boat as a batter, as a baseball bat. The entire city looked like a cyberpunk-esque bloom effect.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Oh yeah. I still Pacific Rim is still one of my favorite kaiju movies.
There was like this awesome movie trailers, and there was like this quote, like, was it the most dumb awesome movie ever made, or the most awesome dumbest movie ever made?
It was the most
Or something like
awesome,
this.
dumbest movie ever made.
No, and while you were talking, I made some Terminators because I have like 3 different kind of tastes for heresy now. So you can play either the Pride of the Legion, the Days of Sorrow, or the what's the other one for the Blood Angels? What, for fuck's sake, the Blood Angel detachment, where you go in all in like jump back, let's go. Shame on me.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think I know what you're talking about.
And I made some Cataphracta Terminators in the colors of the 5th company of the Blood Angels Legion. And my girlfriend is like, why do they look like Flash Terrors a bit? And I'm like, I don't know. The captain of the 5th company was called Nasir Ahmed. And his nickname was the Flash Terror.
That might be why.
No, and I don't know if you ever checked it out, but did you ever see the unit for the Nullificators?
The Nullificator.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. Nullificator.
So it's a heresy unit, and they use Cataphracti armor, and they're like anti-demonic warp Terminators. And they you can literally give every one of those a heavy Toxiferum flamer.
So it's okay. So it's a Cataphracti Terminator with what the fuck is that? Is that an axe?
It's supposed to be an ether shock maul, and it's a power weapon that uses the deflagration rule like the Volkite weapons.
Huh.
And they have hexagramic wards and all anti-psych and demonic stuff.
That's cool.
And the thing is, there is not a single model or description for those, so nobody knows actually how they look.
I mean, that leaves a lot of customization and kit bashing you can do to make them. So that's cool.
Exactly. That's the point.
Welcome, March Megos Reductor Sephi. Welcome.
And the thing is, they have like weird esoteric weaponry and stuff, and they tried anti-demon stuff via trial and error. And so they use like as a basic gun Toxiferum flamers, or you can give the entire squad. What was it? What is the name of the weapon? Disintegrator cannons or something like that. Yeah, Ether Shock Maul is the melee weapon called. It's like a combination of a power weapon and a Volkite mace. And Volkite Maze sounds so stupidly awesome that I really like it.
Oh yeah, I actually would really. Actually, now I kind of want to go through Colts and see if I can find some custom weapons that would match that description. I feel like I'd find a good number.
The thing is, nobody actually knows that because there was never an official depiction of an Aethershock more.
Mm.
I mean, there's one from some 3D printer where the maze head looks like the symbol of Malkador, for example.
Mm.
Yeah, about all that hobby stuff, I just hope and pray the entire time that anything that Amazon does sticks to the secret level.
I do too. One thing I am. Well, actually, before I get to that, so real quick, I know a lot of people have heard a couple of things in the background right now, and I do kind of want to. I do kind of want to do a little bit of a call out real quick. So I've seen a lot of like YouTube channels, like I don't want to get too specific. I'll be specific with one example, and I'll say channels like this one. For those of you who've seen Endymion, hey Ginny, welcome to stream. And hey Lightning Lunatic, how you doing, you handsome man? I know you've been here for a while, but I forgot to welcome you. So hey, but so a lot of channels like Endymion and similar channels have been like latching on to really small news in regards to 40k, and it's starting to piss me off. One such example, I don't know if you've heard this, Afio, but recently there was some news where like 2 or 3 stores are ending their relationship with Games Workshop and are no longer selling 40k merchandise.
I mean, I know 2 stores in Austria, but they don't go like, oh, we don't give a shit about Games Workshop anymore. They just made a yard sale and close their contracts with Games Workshop, but they don't go like on social media and you blow it out into the ether.
Yeah, and like the 1 or 2 that did, their reasons were kind of simple as well. They weren't like anything like anti-woke or political or anything like that.
No, it was more like
it was just business practices.
Yeah, it was like Games Workshop being dicks in business.
Yeah,
practices.
What annoys me is that right there, like for news is so tiny. Like that would be like a nothing news segment. That'd be like if we were still in the modern day, if we still got our news through newspapers, that would be like page 9 in like a single small little box, right? Hardly anybody would read it. Next to nobody who did would care. Because it
would be on the same page as a cat was saved from the tree by the fire department.
Yeah, because it's nothing. Like it's nothing news. What I absolutely fucking despise about certain channels, like Endymion's, is they take that nothing news where 1 or 2 stores have closed. And listen, if a bunch of stores were closing down over the woke stuff, I think it would be justified. But that's just not what's happening. And I don't know as necessarily I want to accuse like these channels of lying, but it's getting really close. Certainly in the thumbnail and in the title, they're lying. Like with how they're like clickbaiting it. But in the videos themselves, they're getting really close. They
scrape the lie like super hard.
Yeah, it's right there. It's like, multiple stores closed down business with GW. End of Warhammer? Question mark.
In the English language, is 2 more than 1, and I think more than 1 is multiple. Yes.
Yeah. Like
so,
it's technically true, but they paint it so dishonestly.
I mean, there's a super word in German for this, but I have no idea how to translate it. It's like when you make like the title of something extra like doomsday-ish sounding.
Yeah. And
in German you would say reißerisch. But in English it's like it literally rips the entire thing apart. It's like shred or rending. Mm. And it's like literally that, it's a shredding or rending article about something happens.
Yeah. I'm getting sick of seeing that shit. Especially since I don't want to start a fight with the guy. But it's pissing me off. because this is my community, and he's starting. I
probably know who you mean.
Yeah, like these channels that are covering this news, and they're sensationalizing and making a big deal, and again, right on the line of lying about these details, and certainly coming away with over the top conclusions. It's just because that they're too lazy to report on any actual news. It's really pissing me off. Like, this is my sphere and my community, and I'd be the first to call out if something actually major, like they're implying, was happening. But
I know that one because you already did it more than one time when something really big happened.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, my channel recently just blew past 10K subs, and it's pretty much solely to do with a big thing that happened in the community with Adam something. But I hope you've been watching for a while. I don't invent stories or take small shit like that, like what those channels are doing, and then blow it up and like lie about it. No, like I wait till there's actually something happening or actually something to respond to, and then I do that.
We both know in this community more than enough people that would call you bullshit if you would do that.
Yeah, there's plenty. Like, and I would want people to. It's like, hey, if I start doing what those channels do, and I take like these nothing news, I blow it up, and I'm like, hey, look at this. This is, like the end of Warhammer and shit. It's like that's just clown show. You're full of shit. You're doom soothsaying, and listen, if by some miracle those channels see this VOD or see a clip of this VOD, if someone wants to share it around, and by all means, feel free to do so. If you see this clip, guys, stop doing it. Like, seriously, it's making you look like no better than TMZ. Like, you're becoming an internet tabloid. And pretty soon, no one's gonna give a damn about your reporting. Like you take these small things and you blow them up into something you think. It's just making you look like a clown. And you're gonna stop being trusted. So, here's some personal advice. Report on actual news or actual significant stuff. And if there is a day where nothing happens, guess what? You don't upload for a day. God forbid, I know. You don't upload for a day.
But the algorithm.
it's I don't know. Like, that shit's pissing me off.
I mean, the thing is, people things we should call out for Games Workshop for is, for example, I got a Christmas present. It was called like the 40K Ultimate Guidebook, and it's not like super old, but in the book the custodial description was like a brotherhood of demigods, and I'm like, hey, that book came out after the Custodes Codex. And I'm like, book was written by Gabe Thorpe and Guy Haley, and both used the term brotherhood of demigods.
Brotherhood of demigods.
And I'm like, hey, that book came out after the Custodes Codex. But to come back to the hobby, my daughter already almost finished the Heresy series.
Ooh.
And she started crying after reading a book, and I'm like, why are you crying? And she's like, I just read Sanguinius' speech before the Eternity Gate.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, I understand. And then I looked at her, and you still play Elder.
That's a perfect response, actually.
But the thing is, things people should call out Games Workshop for is the bullshit they often do with the lore and other stuff. For example, a friend of mine plays World Eaters in 40K since the 4th edition. And you know what he can't use in his World Eaters army? His Chaos Terminator Lord from the Siege of Rax to Fur the Impaler, because World Eaters can't use Terminator Chaos Lords anymore. And you have lore books, because my daughter loves the Inari, where you have like Ivrain, Lelis, Hethberix, and for fuck's sake, what's his name? The super uber incubi, Drazar.
I don't know off the top of my head.
And all of those fighting together against some super special named character, Slaneshi demon. And then in the rules you can play in Ivrain with Drazar and Lelis Hesperix, but not Jane Zar, because Jane Zar and Azuman came in and helped them. And you're like, So wait, if 3 books where Elder Phoenix Lords and they in Inari fight together, and in the game it's like, nope, not for you.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean,
And yeah, it's there's so much stuff that they make that's weird and oddly, and when you think about, a friend of mine works at Games Workshop, and he's in the distribution department. I won't say anything more than that. And he told me like one of the weirdest things. He's like, the people who work 40k want to make Age of Sigma, and the people who made 40k in like 6th and 7th edition are now in the department that work for the Horus Heresy.
I mean that does explain a lot. I mean, quite frankly, not to get too much into it, but personally, I will throw this out there to like everybody who might watch the VOD. If you are an old school fan of 40k and you dropped it after, I'll say, 8th edition or 8th edition and on, and you want to capture the old school scene, but you want to get like new models, you want to jump in again, the Horus Heresy would be where I'd recommend. Like, the game rules are good, the lore is pretty much concrete now, especially with the end of the Horus Heresy series. Because correct me if I'm wrong, the End of the Death volume was it part 3 or volume 3? That's like the final book, unless I missed something.
Yeah, probably there will be a book series, The Great Scouring or something.
Oh yeah, something like that. But like the Horus Heresy novelizations are over. Granted, the end of them sucked, and in my personal opinion, everything after like the 11th or 12th books is just a straight downward hill slope. In my personal opinion, couple of jumps in the chart, but for the most part, the first 10 books are the best of the Horus Heresy.
If you ask me, one of the best books is The Flight of the Eisenstein.
No, I agree. That's my favorite book in the whole series. I've read the entirety of the Horus Heresy. I'm actually going through it again via audiobook. And I will tell you this right now. I still think, like right now, on audiobook, because technically my second reading through the series is via the audiobooks. And my first reading was all of the books my local I guess it was renamed to BAM, like Books a Million, but it was called the Borders at one point. But I used to constantly like rent out the Horus Heresy because they had the whole series, and I didn't have enough money to buy them, but I could rent them. And I read through the whole series with like my own mental images and mental voices for everything, and I like going through all of them up to a point, and then Flies the Einstein remained at the top of my list throughout it. And now that I'm going through audiobook, I was open to my mind changing. I'm already past the Mechanicus book. I think I'm on the Magnus's first book in the series. To double check. But honestly, I still think Fly the Eisenstein, up to where I'm at with my second read through of the audiobooks, Fly the Eisenstein is still the peak of the series so far.
I mean, 2 quotes from her thought it was hilarious watching her read the last books when she was like this the fight Sanguinius and Cabanda, and Sanguinius dropped the "only angels may fly" after he yeeted him from the sky, you know.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, and after the last book, you just heard her, fuck Erebus.
Yes, that is the correct response. Your child is learning.
And she's like, again.
Oh, God. Erebus is the greatest villain in 40k. I don't care who you are. Like, none of the Chaos Demons or the Chaos Gods or the evil Primarchs, literally no one is as bad as Erebus. He is the worst villain in 40k.
I mean, she didn't read the Cypher's Kane books because there was like this one quote that I love more than any other 40k book when he was in bed with Amberly Vale. And he said this, he talked to himself in his mind, and he's like, and then I experienced that one sentence that every man heard from a woman since the inception of humanity, the sentence he dreaded more than anything else, and it's even more dreadful when it comes from an inquisitor. Darling, can I ask something of you?
Oh, that's true.
And it's like, yep, made it perfect.
That is The Caiaphas Cain's books are so good. I'm glad I got recommended those by Lord Metalman a few months ago because I've actually made it through. I think most of them. I'd have to double check. I know I put them on pause to start going back through the Horus Heresy, so I'd have to double check. But I think that I'm through a few of them at least. I know I made it past the first 3 books. Is there anything past the first 3 books?
What do you mean, like the Caiaphas Cain books?
Yeah, I can't remember how long the series.
It's longer than 6 books, I guess.
Okay, so yeah, I'm like halfway through.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think whoever made the melter gun in Space Marine 2, I think they took inspiration of Jürgen's melter, because the Jürgen's melter was literally like the destructive melter boomstick of Doom. It's like, there's a wall, and the Carnifex, and 300 Chaos Demons behind it. See ya.
Bombs away.
That was hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I want to thank you for coming on, man, and I appreciate you.
Going.
Yeah, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. And thank you for the support all the way up to 10K. Much appreciated, man. And
actually, you should make a 10.5 party.
10.5? I mean, we're not quite there, but wait, are we?
My display says 10.5K.
Oh, I didn't realize I hit 10.5.
Ooh, 10.5 party.
10.5. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you.
Jürgen, Deus Ex Melter Gun. Perfect.
Yeah, actually, no, that's perfect. Jürgen, the true MC.
When I'm done with my nullificators, I send them to you, because the thing is, you can literally make a consul, a consularis in Terminator armor that's a nullificator prime.
Ooh.
And it's like okay, so I have an anti-demonic warp, tox flamer, Volkite mace swinging guys with more than 1 HP.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely send that to me. I would love to see it.
Ether shock Mars. That's one of the most dumbest bullshit ever made.
All right. Have a good night, man.
See ya.
All right. I think that's it for calls. So I'm just gonna catch up with the chat real quick. Scroll up. I saw someone ask a question earlier. Katie Brooks, welcome to stream, by the way. You probably have left by now. I apologize I didn't answer your question while you're here, but if you watch the VOD. Opinion on 40K Henry Cavill Amazon confirmation. Now, I made a video on that for those who haven't seen it, so by all means go check out my video on it. But to kind of sum up what I said in that video, I'm cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good. I want it to be great. And the secret level animation gives me a lot of hope. It certainly shows that it can be done. Like, you can do 40K accurately, and it can be great. It can be a great representation of the setting we all love. My worry is, obviously that was secret level, and that was made by Blur Studios. I believe that's the name of the studios. They're not attracted. They might be attracted to it, but they're not attached to the Henry Cavill series, as far as I've heard. Maybe you guys have seen something I haven't. If you have, please share it with me. But as far as I've seen, they are not attached to that. So regardless of how good that secret level episode was, it's not indicative of how good Henry Cavill's series is going to be. So we don't know if it's going to be good. And a lot of people have pointed out fairly, Amazon made Rings of Power. Amazon made what was it? They made Reacher, which I liked season 1. I haven't seen season 2, but a bunch of people told me that Reacher turned like into a political soapbox too eventually, which is sad to hear. I would have, because the first season was so good. Like why ruin that? But I am cautiously optimistic. I really, really, really want the series in Wheel of Time. Yep. I really want it to be good. I'm afraid, because we are really talking about the worst possible publisher of a 40K or any fandom series ever. We are talking about the worst possible publishing body in terms of political messaging and in terms of giving accurate lore and like fandom. We are talking about the worst publisher. Honestly, some people would argue Netflix. I honestly think Netflix has a better track record. Like Netflix has also done it. Don't get me wrong, and they will do it. Netflix would also be bad to hear as being the backing of this project, but they at least still had Arcane, right? They at least still had Daredevil, at least the first few seasons. They had those things, and they were very accurate to their settings and to their lore. Granted, I think I like Arcane aside, I heard Daredevil eventually went to the shitter. I don't know that. I never finished the series. I got to a certain point. I actually want to rewatch it at some point, but I don't want to give Netflix money. So, yo ho me, hardy yo ho. But you know, I don't know. Again, like, to sum up a very long set of thoughts, I'm cautiously optimistic because now we've seen that it can be done. Will it be done well? I don't know. I hope. I'm not going to doomsay it until I see something to doomsay about. Like, I want to wait. For me, I'm going to be cautiously optimistic until I see the very first trailer. When we see the trailer, when we see something to go off of, then I can start making predictions. Then I can start saying where I'm at. And if what we see in trailers is really concerning and I'm negative about it, I hope I'm wrong. Because at the end of the day, I think all of us want good 40K, true 40K media. We want things that is true to the universe we fell in love with and we've spent so much money, time, and effort into. We all want solid, good, and honest 40K media. And I'd imagine that that's universal. So I don't hope it's bad. I will cover it and I will talk about it and have quality. Yeah, and have quality. I want 40K to be good. And I don't want it to fall. That's why I criticize when I criticize. That's why I call out shit when I call it out. It's because I don't want it to turn into a political soapbox for an ideology that couldn't give two shits about the community or the hobby or the universe that we all love. And they show it. Like, every time the female Space Marine argument comes back up again. And everyone says again, hey, Sisters of Battle, we have them, and they always act like they're nothing, or they down talk them, or they demean them down to they're just nuns with guns, or actually no, sometimes they're even more demeaning. Like they talk about them like they're disgusting or something. And then when you bring up this Sisters of Silence, they're like, oh, they're just women who don't talk. Like they do stuff like that, and then still somehow pretend to be fans. Like, you're not a fan of something if you demean something with so much lore and so much essence to it down to something like that. Like, by that same token, Space Marines are just meathead mutations. You know, like, you can do that with anything. Like, you can demean it down to nothing to try and justify your push for your ideological BS. At the end of the day, 40K should be 40K and should be true and honest to what made it good. And I don't think it should preach my politics. I don't think it should preach the left's politics. What it should preach is what it has been and continue to do that. So, Jonathan Eccles, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much. Just pop in to say Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Congrats on 10K. Just got a new mini storage. Nice. Carry case and 2 Gundams, so I'm enjoying mine. Nice. Awesome. Love to hear it, man. Actually, that's one thing I wanted to show off in the stream at some point. Kind of got lost in the sauce before I could cover it, but let me go to it. I just want to share with you guys my Christmas haul from my folks, because my folks, again, they really came out and surprised me. They asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I said, hey, yeah, just 40K stuff, and they're like, really? Don't you have so much of that already? I'm like, yeah. I you can't go wrong with more. You know, it's more projects to do in the future, you know? So, I was really excited for it, but I didn't expect them to get much. I expected, like, maybe a box here or a box there. But because it's pricey, right? This stuff's expensive. And I don't want my family breaking the bank just to get me. So I gave them a list, and I told them what the prices were, and I told them, hey, if you don't get anything on this list, I'm fine. If you just want to get me a mug, cool. But I'll show you what they did get me. So starting off with let me make sure I'm seeing this on camera here. So starting off with the Exalted 8-bound. This was on my list, but I didn't think they'd get them. Or actually, to be honest, I thought if there was anything they would get, it would be this, or just the regular 8-bound, and that I figured they would get, and that would be it. So, but they got me the Exalted 8-bound, which I was really appreciative of. Because for those that don't know, I'm building another big army for 40k. I'm trying to track down people to play 7th edition with, because I don't want to play 10th. For those who know me and have been on the channel for a while, which hopefully if you're in this 10k sub celebration, welcome. My main army for 40k for the longest time has been my orcs. My orcs have been my army of choice and the army I've collected the longest since I started the hobby about 11 years ago, almost 12 years ago now. So, with that being said, the main army I'm building for 40k right now is my World Eaters. I have an army for Horus Heresy I'm still working on, which is my Blood Angels, but World Eaters has been a side project. That's on hold because I'm trying to get a commission done for my buddy Caboose, especially since I'm going to go to the military soon. I want to get that done before I go to basic training, because as it is, I'm over a year late with that commission. Yes, a year. The fact that he hasn't already demanded a refund is a miracle, and I owe it to him to get that done relatively soon. But so that's one thing I got. And honestly, when I opened that under the tree, I was like, okay, so that's the 40k thing that they got this year, right? Wrong. My dad got me these, and this wasn't even on my list. He saw the army I was listing a lot of, and he's like, oh, I want to get him something that's not on his list, just in case. You know, he was just not asking or something. So he also got me in a box of jackals. Which, for those that don't know, jackals are essentially Khorne chaos cultists. It's a little bit more to them than that, especially with like the stuff they inject themselves with. There's a bit more to them than just that. But in essence, they're essentially Khorne chaos cultists, and they're the most baseline infantry you can run for World Eaters. I have quite a few of my I need to paint already, but I love having more to work with. I love having infantry I can spam. So again, I opened that and was like, okay, I'm already getting more than I expected, right? So that's it. That's all my folks got me. Wrong. Because they also got me this. Now, I know there's no artwork in front, but this is the Chaos Space Marine Predator tank. Yep. This was on my list, but when we talk about price tags, I figured that they wouldn't be able to get this. Because my folks don't tend to go above the triple digits for like our budget for like gifts for us for Christmas, which I've never had a problem with. You know, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where growing up, we lived on a farm. A lot of the money had to go towards the horses and the pigs and keeping everything running and the lights on and the heat on. So I never, even as a kid, I never lamented when, you know, a lot of the gifts were more basic stuff, like 1 or 2 video games and a bunch of clothes. Never bothered me. So the fact that with that already, and then also getting a tank, I was like, this is already quite a lot. And I really appreciated it. Mom tracked this down for me, and I greatly appreciated it. Heat is important when you live in the Arctic. True. Actually, fun fact, like 2 or 3 days ago, the temperature dropped to like 1 degree. It was like, winter is here. So I opened that and I thought, okay, that's it. Okay, that's already over like $200, $300 already. My dad got me this. Now this wasn't on my list, and I am building a World Eaters army. So, you know, obviously he doesn't know 40k that well, so he was like, oh, well, that's like the tank he mentioned, the Predator tank. That being said, I'm gonna convert this kit into a Chaos Predator. It's not gonna be too hard. I'm gonna use what I can from the other kit that I don't use on that one. I'm gonna use on this. So this is still going to be a World Eaters Predator tank if I can help it. I just have to kit bash it a little bit. So yeah, they also got me this, which was really cool. Easy to chaos iffy that shit. Oh yeah, totally. Like it won't take much. I'm gonna screw around with it a little bit. So all that, I was like, okay, that's it. That's over like $300 now, right? Like we're hitting like the 400 range. Way too much to spend on me. But my mom went and got something I mentioned, not put on my list. I mentioned this a month ago. When I was talking, she was like, "Oh, what kind of like kits are you like interested in? Like, I don't understand the whole thing, but just like just some kits you're interested in that maybe are like future projects." I was like, "Oh well, I mean, I already got a lot of the kits I'd want to, And I was talking to her a little bit. She's like, "Yeah, but like, what's a kit you really really want but can't afford or anything, And I'm like, "Well, a Lord of Skulls." That's a project that would be fun to do. And I ranted at her about the lore of it, like how it's one of the most iconic, like visually, like one of the most iconic, like chaos, like units ever. In some ways, it's as iconic as as any of the Titans, right? Well, the woman. Try and get the title there. Went and got a Lord of Skulls. I don't deserve that, woman. I don't. She already put up enough with me in 9 months of pregnancy, let alone 18 plus years. I don't deserve her at all. It looks so stupid, though. Fuck off. It looks great. Mobility Scooter Berserker. Fuck you. But it's so fun. Yeah. Your mother's insane and absolute. Yes, she is. I have no words that can fully encompass how amazing of a woman she really is. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, really, of it. But I was blown away when I unwrapped this. I was not expecting this. I didn't put it on my list. I didn't think that they would ever afford it. It was, as it is, that. Just opening that, I was ecstatic. I was like, holy crap, this is beyond anything I could have ever expected. I bought my mom like it was like a $400 blender because she really wanted it. But, I never expected her to drop the kind of money to get a Lord of Skulls, because this is not a cheap model. Like, it's not. And she got it MSRP. She didn't go on eBay and try and find a secondhand one that I could like flip. No, she wanted me to get like the kit to build off of and paint myself. The only thing, the funny thing is when I unwrapped it and I was almost tearful as I was looking at her. I was like, "You didn't." She went, "I did." She said, "I do have a stipulation though." I went, "What's the stipulation?" She went, "Now I know you're going to basic at some point in a few months, right? And I know you got a commission going on." She doesn't fully understand the commission part of it. But she's like, "I know you're doing stuff with your friends, but I really want to see that assembled at some point this year, like 2025. I'm like, "I can make it happen." So I have to assemble this at some point in the next 12 months. I don't think anything's going to happen if I don't. She's probably going to forget, but I owe it to her at this point, Oh, good God. Hey, Oddball. Merry Christmas to you too, my friend. I hope you got some fun projects to do. I know work has been and other stuff have been keeping you busy, but I hope you find some time to work on some kits and stuff. You deserve the downtime. Skulls for the Skull Throne, yeah. Gordon supports the disabled. Just because you're disabled does not mean you can't draw blood. God, that makes me that just put a picture in my head. You have to assemble Lord Mobility Scooter. Yeah, I will. Fuck you. Yeah, I might have been drinking. You might have been drinking. Emphasis, right? Might. I don't know. This is super cool. I am blown away by this. I can't wait to put this together. Yeah, I'm just, yeah. My dad got me some other stuff too. Like he got me a gun case, like not like a case, like a more of a mobile one. That way I can like safely transport my handgun and stuff. Like I've got some military paraphernalia. My uncle got me, stuff like that. But and I appreciate that. That stuff is utility wise, and I especially with what I'm planning on doing soon, it's good to have. But yeah, damn. Yeah, this was a great Christmas, and it's good just to spend time with family, but to get that, I appreciate it. Jenny says, there's a very old song named Cripple's Shield Wall done by Leslie Fish. I think that lists all the ways physically different people are perfectly capable if you provide them the right setups. Well, that's cool. I mean, that's a good way to spread that information. I mean, a song. Cripple's Shield Wall. Interesting name. I'm gonna make you assemble it. I intend to, very much so. I gotta get Caboose's commission done first, though. That has to get done first. It's already taken too goddamn long to do that. So I'm gonna get that done, get that sent out to him, and then first thing I'm probably gonna do is that Lord of Skulls. First things first. I really hope the instructions for it are better than the goddamn instructions that I had for that fucking Stompa. Because I swear to God, if the instructions are on the same level as that Stompa, I'm going to lose my shit. I will assemble it. There is no question about that. But I can kick and scream about it as I do it. Because part of fixing something or building something is losing your shit at it. God damn it. But yeah, like that was a really lucky haul I got this Christmas. Busy downloading the Legion's Christmas present from me. Loads of STLs. We'll be posting links to the barracks later. Nice. I would absolutely love to see some of those links, especially since I'm trying to get my own 3D printers repaired. Instructions for an orc walker? Ha! There were instructions. They looked like they were written by orcs, which is appropriate. But fuck me. You want to talk about one of the hardest things to assemble purely based on the instructions? Stompa. This is a bitch to assemble. I did it years ago. I'll never do it again. I have one Stompa. That's it. If I ever make another Stompa, it's going to be 3D printed, and I'm going to know damn well how to put it together from the outset. I will not get another GW Stompa ever. I don't care how good the company becomes magically at some point. Maybe they do. Maybe they become a company actually likable. Ha. But even if they do, never again. This bitch, never again. I'll bet it what you got, mate. Yeah. Oh, people lighting off fireworks. Never another Stompa. They're so bad. The instructions are all from one fucking angle, and the angle is so bad for certain gluing parts. I guessed straight up at several junctures. I just guessed where the fuck is this supposed to go? It was so bad. Oh man, Jesus. Tough. Asmo wants 5 more Stompa. Hey, if you want to send them to me, they will never be assembled. They will be a shelf decoration. It's look at all these Stompas I own, but we'll never assemble. If I ever go to a tournament, I'm just going to put the box on the fucking table. Fuck that. Oh, goddamn. They are such a bitch. They are such a bitch to assemble. I really hope they've updated the instructions of those at some point, but I doubt it. Just thinking about it is I remember how glued up my hands were. How many times I had to pry parts off because I was like, oh, shit, that wasn't the right thing. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck no. I'm charging an absurd amount of money if you commission me for that. An absurd, to the point that if you pay it, fuck you, you've earned my stress of me assembling it. Yeah, I had the same with a Forge World Knight I bought off a certain twat in Warhammer years ago. Cheap photocopied sheets of utter useless dross. Damn. Remember to assemble the arm onto the back and glue. So there's the arm and there's the back. So clearly we're gonna go there. No, you're supposed to put it on the armhole. Why would you put the arm in the armhole, you stupid git? Come on. Fine, right? Step 2. Assembly, you dumb fuck. John Warhammer. Yeah. Alright, so I want to end this stream by making a couple of direct thank yous to some awesome mad lads who have been in the community with me since pretty much the outset, have been major boosts to my own mental health and to the hobbying energy I've had forever, as well as just being awesome friends that I made over the years through all of this and through all of this investment. For me, when I think of Warhammer, these guys come up first and foremost in my mind, long before any lore tidbits or characters or miniatures I've assembled and painted. When I think of Warhammer, these guys are what I think of. They are the community to me. They are what I thank my time in Warhammer most for. First off, I want to, and I can't possibly get to every single one of them, so I'm going to rattle off names, but I want to stop at a couple of them. First one being Nathan X2000, who was in here earlier. And again, I do genuinely encourage people to check out his channel and check out his creative endeavors. The man is a genuine hobbyist as well as a genuine fan of this setting that we all love, and he's not someone I'd imagine ever to become like a grifter type. He's not a man who chases views. He's content with his lot, and well, I don't know fully of that, but he's not a man who does these kind of creative endeavors on YouTube and stuff for money. It's done because of the love of it, the joy of it, and building community and building something really cool and unique. And that's becoming a rarity these days, so... That Nathan X2000, if you guys ever get a chance, check him out, sub to him, watch his videos. His Space Marine 2 videos are awesome. Absolutely check them out. He carries a spirit of honesty and fortitude as a person that I think is unequaled. Period, really. So, yeah. Nathan X2000. It's pretty straightforward. I would also like to shout out Ball, who Baal. Yes, named after the world in 40K. He's an older gentleman, a British veteran and soldier who I greatly appreciate. He's been with me since Jesus. I think a little bit before the the very first Arch controversy I encountered. Maybe after that, but I think around that time. And that's years. That's years and years and years. And Nathan's been around that time too. But he for me was a source of like wisdom as just a person, let alone as in regards to the 40K community. The man's a walking historian in regards to 40K lore and for as well as the hobby itself since like 2nd edition and things like that. So he's a walking talisman to how many like the decades and generations that this hobby has spoken to and has boosted over the years. And I greatly appreciate him. It's very sad that I don't talk to him much these days. I mean, he's very busy with his IRL business, and I understand that. And hopefully I get more of an opportunity to talk to him and see him more often, because he is really truly a good friend and a good person. And I do hope he's doing well. I hope he's having the merriest of Christmases, because he certainly enjoys it. Deserves it. Sorry. God. Who to bring up? Like, I'm gonna start. I'll bring up a pair of individuals. Karn and Tang. Karn being in the chat right now. Tang, I don't think I've seen him pop in, but Tang and Karn and Tang, the dynamic duo, the The monotone genius comedian that is Karn, who is also a huge fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! As well as 40k. The scientist and very easily aggravated Bulgarian gentleman. Tang is dead tired. I bet. The two of them have brought me much laughter and joy. Like just hanging out with them, talking to them, the straight man act from Karn as he's just again just a natural comedic genius without any kind. He's the embodiment of the term. It's German comedy. It's no laughing matter. Fucking, he's so amazing and so entertaining, and he just brings up the most random shit that can make you laugh like out of nowhere. Just absolutely like side tearing comedy. And it's monotone and the flat delivery sometimes leaves you questioning. Was he serious or was that the joke that he meant? And then Tang, obviously, with his very enthusiastic energy and his poignant perspectives on things that is very detailed, is very mindful, and again, like he brings such a level of energy to not just hobbying but any kind of conversation. You can talk to Tang about anything and it becomes such a joyous experience and you just want to keep talking to him. You never feel like you get tired of a conversation with Tang until you get to something that's like scientific. Then it gets kind of old, but that's because he starts saying no to you a lot. It's like, water is wet. Well, no. It's like, fuck you, Tang. But loving this. So two of them are such a dynamic duo, and you know, the community as well as my life would feel so empty without the two of them in it, especially together. So greatly appreciate Karn and Tang. I'd like to shout out Nico 40k. He's got his own YouTube channel. Check that out as well. He deserves it. His videos are rare, but they're such a treat when they appear. Nico is, I tell him that. Feel free, link him, clip it. I don't know. But Nico is such a charmer. I want to say, like he's naturally fun to talk to and very similar to Tang, very enthusiastic, but in a kind of a different way. Like it's super. Like it makes you feel optimistic when you talk to him. Like no, like let's say you're like ruminating about something, and then you talk to Nico about it. Nico can make you feel reassured in your own thoughts about it, but also make you feel more relaxed about it as well. Like he just talking to him, he may not necessarily say anything to try and demean or to simplify a thing, but talking to him makes you kind of compartmentalize things and make you feel more relaxed about things that might be stressing you out. So Nico's a natural relaxer, I guess. he's a very fun person to talk to. I also want to shout out Sil. I haven't heard from her in a while, but Sil, who's a very nice German lady and soldier who is been a part of the community for a long ass time. She's put up with a lot of shenanigans. She's a voice of reason and sanity that comes into a community. She's certainly wholesome Sil. Yep, she's the holy Sil of our community. She's the den mother of everybody, and she's a natural source of hope, I think. Always likes to put things in perspective, always likes to bring a reasonable, careful thought into things. Generally, just talking to her is always a true delight in one's day. So I greatly appreciate Sil. God, I feel bad when I don't mention people, but I gotta get through some names here. Jenny and Lightning, I'll do them as a dynamic duo. Two of them for my Final Fantasy days, and hopefully that's future and past tense. But Final Fantasy, both of them have been a treat, and I spent a lot of time playing dungeons with them and doing raids and going through the fantastic story of Final Fantasy 14. And they really bring the word community for me for that. they have stuck with me through thick and thin, and through playing through the game and guiding me along, and being truly pleasant people to be around. And they've acclimated to the rest of my community very closely, and I greatly appreciated it. So they've become friends for sure, and they've both been through their own struggles, particularly Jenny. There's just been a lot there, a lot of challenge, a lot of strife, and through it all, she's shown a level of strength I don't regularly see. So I can only commend that and thank God, as well as thank her for being in my life. So I appreciate Jenny, and I appreciate Lightning. Lightning is a very fun person to talk to, especially when you're playing games with. He's just similar to Nico, very much a calming, chilling experience person to talk to. Wholesome stream moment, yeah. Take a picture; it'll last longer. I don't do wholesome all the time, so enjoy it while I'm doing it. Jesus. So this is where I'm gonna start rattling off names, but major thanks to. Oh, I got a list again. I'm gonna feel bad for everyone I don't mention. But major thanks to to Lightning, to Trip. Both of them are members of the community that kind of hopped in via the open mic stuff. I really like them. It's fun talking to them and like talking to them about like controversial stuff. It's cool getting their perspective on things. Sometimes I wonder if they should make their own channels because they have complex thoughts. And Oddball, and Lord Metalman from the Legion of Unpopular Opinions, as well as Hobby Knights and Hobby Loves. They have been such awesome members of the 40K community, and they, like, interacting with them in particular like makes you feel like 40K is alive and 40K has a future, because there are days when there's a price hike, or there's Jesus or like there's a price hike, or there's a controversy or stuff going on, and you start to feel like 40K is kind of doomed at times. Like you just see so much of like the political stuff getting pushed into it, and so many people pushing that political stuff, and it just drives you nuts. And you're just trying to enjoy 40K, but then you go and talk to Oddball, you go and talk to Lord Metalman, you talk to them, and you're reminded of the spirit of a hobbyist, the spirit of someone who's actually a fan of these things and isn't supportive of it changing for these ideological stuff. You hear them talk about the lore, you hear them talk about the hobbies, the miniatures, you hear them just kind of chat, and it brings you down to earth, or brings you up, I should say, to earth. From like the pit, you start to dig yourself down to hell, and you're reminded, no, like there are plenty of true fans and true hobbyists who embody what this community has built, and what this community continues to live on foundationally. Lord Metalman, as well as all of the Hobby Love crew and the Legion of Unpopular Opinions, and Oddball in particular, they are a great source of encouragement, just passively. But actively talking to them, it's a whole nother story. Like it's so good that they're in the greater community of 40K, but I'm truly blessed to have the opportunities to chat with them and chat with the Legion, and see that the spirit of 40K, as well as the 40K community, does still exist and is thriving. Good God. Again, I'm going to feel so bad for the people I don't mention. Tehedora. She's not so big. So she's not so big on the 40K stuff, but she's a huge uptick in the community when she joined. She's the sister of Urus, who also, I'll mention them together. Urus, who is a great Spanish Chad, a true Adonis. That I've greatly appreciated having the community, and he was already such a blessing into the community, but when he added Tehe, the two of them and their constant back and forth fighting in the chat, and the brother sister relationship there, that's so fun to watch. It's very funny too, as they constantly threaten to beat each other up, and then we would be on VC calls, and they we literally hear one of them hit the other one with a freaking flip flop or something over across the room. like they bring so much natural comedy together, but you know they also bring their own individual enjoyments. Like Urus is such a clever and such a mindful person to talk to, and he's a very light, he makes you feel lighthearted when you chat with him, and he's a very very fun guy. Tehe, she's a very talented artist. She's also very, at times she's very upbeat and brings a lot of smiles with her, and she's such an enthusiastic person for the fandom she is into that it almost makes you want to dive into them yourself, even if you may not necessarily naturally be as like attracted to it as you might normally be. And again, our artistic ability is beyond anything I will ever accomplish. She is so talented and such a good person. Truly. Oh god, this is gonna be a long list. Just Speed, welcome to the stream. Asmogan, much greater than Asmongold. I appreciate it. Just to kind of throw it out there. For those who assume my name comes from Asmongold, it doesn't. It comes from Asmodai. You know, the character in 40k, and his name is based off of Asmodeus, which is a biblical character. So I just want to throw that out there. A lot of people assume that my name comes or is related to Asmongold in any way. It's really not. I picked the name because I really like the character of Asmodai, who is a Dark Angels character. Really, if I recall correctly, he's a chaplain. So just want to throw that out there. Entity in D&D. Yeah, there you go. So that's where the name comes from. Just want to throw that out there. But we're gonna where was I? Oh yeah. Pierce, in terms of talking about talented artists, holy crap. You want to talk about talent. You want to talk about talent and passion. You will not find a greater source of either out there, especially if we talk about Tolkien and art. Both are incredibly embodied in one individual, and that individual's name, well, I could say his actual name, which is wait, should I say, you put it in your like Instagram and stuff, right? Like, so would you rather I just refer to you as Pyrrhus, or would you? Because I can also refer to your name because it's in your it's in your Instagram and stuff. Dox him. Well, that's the thing. I want to be clear here. Like, I don't want to dox him, so go for whatever. Okay. Well, Jacob Jones is he embodies a natural talent and passion for Tolkien and art. He also likes 40k a lot, especially Maccabi and Janissaries. But the passion and like enthusiasm, as well as lore knowledge he has in Tolkien, I can only barely match with my knowledge of 40k. Like, the man's memorized the Silmarillion and has delved into depths that even dwarves in the Balrog have not even been. Like, the man could probably talk to Tolkien, and note for note they can recognize each other's like lines and stuff. It's truly impressive. But artwork wise, this man has brought to life the tabletop war game I'm developing in the background of things, and the artwork he has done for me for that. I will forever be the best embodiment of Warglaive that I could ever ask for. It's honestly I wish I could pay him more for the work he does, because it's truly worthy of like a grand payout that I wish I had the money for. And the generosity he's shown me with asking for the little pittance I have to give when I get a chance to commission him is the generosity alone is also worth its own. It was worth its own soliloquy dedicated to thanking Pyrrhus for. So, and on top of all of that, he's a great friend and a member of the community that I appreciate immensely. Like with Tang and like with Karn, I can't imagine my afternoons or my community would be the same without talking to him on the regular, hearing his voice, talking about Tolkien, doing a little watch-alongs for Lord of the Rings Extended Edition, which we do like 3 times a year now. Like, there's just so much he adds to my day-to-day along with the others that I greatly appreciate, and may his sword of light continue to help guide us all through a little bit of darkness that we see from time to time, because he helps me out a lot. And so yeah, so Pierce, major thank you to Pierce, also known as Jacob Jones Illustrations. If you're looking for a great artist to commission for whatever you want, hit him up. He's got an Instagram. Again, it's great stuff. It's also on DeviantArt, I think. Are you on DeviantArt, Pierce? Or am I misremembering? I don't know. I hope you are. But yeah, look up Jacob Jones Illustrations if you're looking for that stuff. I have almost 10k points of 40k minis. Nice. I've never played a single game. I mean, that's fair. Like, if you enjoy like collecting and just painting, like that's perfectly fine. I play tournaments from time to time. I don't do a lot of like casual games these days. I'd like to, but no, that's fine, man. Like I've collected over 10k points of all my armies and stuff. I've played only like 12, 13 tournaments, probably like closer to 15 actually. But, You don't? Oh. Well, sorry to hear that. God. It's a long list. I feel like I'm gonna feel horrible if I don't mention somebody. Alright, I'm gonna speed run it. Can't paint, I tried. Nah, it just takes practice. Don't say you can't paint. Say you can't paint yet. You know, it just requires practice. It just requires practice. Trust me. Like we all started with stick figures, and we all moved on to something better. God damn it. There's so many people. Okay, I'll do some rapid fire ones. Ace 1918, really love that guy. Very, very business like with how he approaches YouTube and like collabs and stuff, but I know he feels genuine in behind it all. So huge thanks to that. Generic, I like Generic. I guess on Discord is Generic __. But Generic, he's also really fun to talk to, really cool. Kill Team Hungry. Kill Team Hungry is an awesome mad lad. Love him. Don't talk to him enough. I really should talk to him more often. But yeah, Kill Team Hungry. 40k Empress. 40k Empress. We've had our disagreements here and there, but generally speaking, I really like her content. She's very genuine with her approach to 40k and how she sees things. If you want to talk about somebody who calls out Endymion and those types more quite a bit, she does she has and does quite a bit. And honestly, like I'm starting to get even more pissed off with those types than I think she is even. But that's neither here nor there. Huge credit to 40k Empress. I really like her. She was a delight to do an interview with and delight to be interviewed by. Alfarius is an awesome lad. I love to talk to him and I love he's part of my D&D group. Sad I've been missing out on him lately, but I'd like to have him more often. Havoc. Havoc has been a great boon to the community. I've really loved having him. I love chatting with him. He's a great source of both spiritualistic talk sometimes and also just kind of 40k in general conversations. I like him. He's a very logical individual. Appreciate that. Good God. Ludus Infinium, that mad lad. He's actually doing very good in school right now. Ludus, we've had a couple bumps in the road together, but he's still a friend. I still like him, and I only hope his future is bright. Sometimes things struggle, but it's looking like things are looking up, at least educationally, for him right now. So I can only hope things continue to improve. Oh, God. God, I'm going to feel so bad if I miss people. Vivek. Nostalgia Vivek. Real love him. He's been a great boon to the community. One of the many golden nuggets of people I've had the pleasure to get to know and have like on retainer to talk to. Vivek, Nostalgia Vivek has been one. I greatly appreciate having him around. Kind of using the chat as a cheat sheet here. We also have Archmago's Reductor Sethra. I keep wanting to say Sethrin. I don't know why. Sethra. He's been a regular coming in and out of the community. I've appreciated having him and seeing him in chat from time to time. Very much appreciate it. Love to see that little raccoon, that marsupial face with the Mechanicus eye and robe. Love to see that in chat. I'm gonna feel so bad because I'm definitely gonna miss some people here. Good God. Yeah, also use Discord as a cheat sheet. I guess I should also shout out Arch. You know, Arch. I don't watch Archcast anymore for obvious reasons. For anybody who's been keeping track of both our stuff over the years, Arch is a great guy himself. I certainly think he has questionable choices of co-hosts, but I'm not one to throw shade at other people for the friends they keep. Nor do guilt by association. It is what it is. But yeah. So Arch, I greatly appreciate him for all the content we've both done together. Obviously he's helped out the channel a lot and support stuff over the years. And plus, in terms of a lore channel, he's probably been one of the best sources of 40k lore on his main Arch channel, which I am still subscribed to, which I still watch any uploads he puts there. Arch has been a great source of 40k lore. In my opinion, better than Luton, but that's a taste thing and a delivery thing. So major props to Arch. Appreciate him over the years quite a bit. Oy. See. Yaska. I wanted to shout out Yaska. Yaska has also been a great member of the community to have. I really appreciate it. Host here, nuts dash. I forget where I am hiding it. God damn it. Let's see. Fuck. Spiff. Spiffier Mage. Really like him. He's been an interesting member of the community. Bit of a recluse. He comes in and out of conversation. Usually he jumps in for like a short little bit to like socialize and like inform me of stuff I completely missed here and there. But there's that. Bob World Builder, dude has great hair. Bob the World Builder. I know I'm shouting out a lot of people, but I feel like so many people deserve a shout out for like all the support they've shown over the years. Like it's a lot. Cindy, Dragonis. Dragonis deserves a shit ton of praise. Like I love hanging out with him so much. Fuck. Yeah, I'm gonna feel so fucking bad like for everybody I miss because there's so many. Lady Runesong, Lord of Pink. They're awesome. Lord of Pink also talk about a talented artist in himself. Jesus. Marlena, Mr. Bones. I haven't seen Mr. Bones in forever, but Mr. Bones. Caboose, a big time supporter of the community, and honestly, a truly amazing human being. I love him to death. The community would not be what it is without him. Truly, I greatly appreciate Caboose. I'm sad I don't get to talk to him as much these days, and I feel very bad I have not finished his commission. Reverend Norse, I haven't seen him in forever, but Reverend Norse has been a very generous person to the channel, both financially and just presence-wise. Really appreciate him. Siege has been in and out since the original Arch controversies, but every time I've had him in chat, he's always been a very clever person to talk to. I think he's got nice perspectives on things. Shadowhawk is a true treat to have in the community as well. Bit of a doomer sometimes, but we all have our flaws. Generally, though, he is good to have around. Telcree has also been a good member of the community. Shit. I think I've hit like everybody I want to hit. Like Kaiju has also been a great member of the community. Also kind of a bit of a recluse these days. When you get him talking about like Transformers or Kaiju, it's gonna be a lengthy conversation. I want to say I've hit everybody I wanted to. It feels Morty and Glory. True, Morty and Glory deserves a bit of a shout out. Haven't talked to him in a while, but man's a Chad. Man's a great member of the 40k community. Probably one of the most genuine members you'll meet or interact with. If you talk about another channel that deserves some like viewership and deserves a lot of praise, it's Morty and Glory. So that is fair. Thank you for mentioning Morty and Glory. So Morty and Glory, if you want to talk like watch a channel that doesn't ever address like drama and stuff in the community, and not because they're avoiding it, but because they just don't really bother with it, I think Morty and Glory is a great person. So Morty and Glory. And also a great source of bolt action fandom and the love of the guard. Morty and Glory absolutely deserves. God, again, I'm gonna feel bad. I'm gonna leave it at those people. If I didn't mention you preemptively, it's not that I forgot about you or didn't care. I mean, Matt. Oh well, hold on. I got another one. Before I forget, Maximilian Fontaine, also known as AO1 Junkie, AON 101 Junkie, also known as Wait, I think that's both the names I know. By the way, Max is a fucking treat. Hey there, what about me? Okay, I only just read that. I apologize. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember everybody. It's so many people. Max. See, this just goes to show you how many great people you can meet through certain communities. I'm struggling to go through fucking everybody. But yeah, Max has also been a treat. Great D&D player as well as quite the shit poster. Uh, so also very much of a fun treat to talk to. I do enjoy immensely having him as one of my D&D players, yes, but also as a person who's been in the community for a hot minute. Oh God. I think. No, that isn't everybody. Fuck. Cavantis also does a shout out. God damn it. My brain. So many people. Cavantis, one of the most talented painters I've ever seen, by the way. Cavantis, also a big member of the community. Love him to death. Great German boy. Worried me when he injured himself a few years ago, but he's bounced back quite well. Also, the man with a pair of Keats. Redskin on 10K Asmo. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Lightning Lunatic. Yes. Big props to Drift Speed for remembering to put respect to Morning Glory. True. Respect to Drift Speed. Thank you for putting that in. Oh, good God. I think that's there's a couple of other 40K YouTubers I could shout out, but I'm trying to stick to people I've actually interacted with and I actual members of the community. So, I think that's it. Preemptively, I apologize to any member of the community I did not mention that truly deserved it, because there's probably quite a few. I apologize. It's not that you're less valued in the community. It's just that there's so many fucking people I have to remember. So yeah, I think I've gone all through the mainstay of thank yous and gratitudes. I think. Gotta love yourself. Nah, I'm fine. I wouldn't be here without y'all. So yeah, I truly appreciate all of you guys so much, and to everybody who didn't get mentioned, I apologize, but just know I do appreciate you guys in the community, and appreciate all you guys who are truly invested in 40K and truly invested in this hobby of ours, and also invested in hopefully a better future of things going forward. And we not without you. OMB here, you weren't here. I mean, that's true, I suppose. I'm the banner. I'm the beacon. I'm the beacon that was lit. The beacons are lit. Go. 40K calls for aid. I'm the beacon. Light me on fire. What? Oh God. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for 10K. Truly, I never thought we'd hit this number, but we have, and I'm beyond words of gratitude. I just know that I greatly appreciate it, and just know that, going forward, we're going to keep doing things together. We're going to keep calling out stuff when it happens. But unlike some of the grifter channels, I'm not going to call out nothing burger news, like 2 stores not selling 40K anymore. I actually want to stick to, though the news coverage is going to be rare, I want to stick to stuff that's actually worth talking about. Henry Cavill, I haven't interacted with Henry Cavill. I would love to. Yeah, Henry Cavill, you see this channel, call me. I don't know. Need a fellow consultant of 40K lore for the Amazon series. Give me a call. But, oh God. But yeah, I'm so fortunate to have the support I have. Is Henry W or L? I'd say he's a W. The Amazon series that he is working on will definitively define if he's an L or a W. The man's lived through quite a few L's, so hopefully this is his big W. But yeah, major thanks to all you wonderful people, all you great, amazing members of the community. Apologies if you weren't shouted out. Again, you're no less appreciated. Just forgive me. There's just a lot of names. But yeah, I'm gonna head out for the night. It's getting late. I do have work tomorrow, unfortunately. And after work, I have stuff I have to work on. I have to get the next Voxwork podcast episode out, for example. God, there's so much to do. But love you guys. Thank you for 10K. And hope you guys stick around while I'm away at Basic. I know there'll be no content during that time, but hope to see you guys when I get back from that. I don't know when I'm leaving yet, so don't know. It's not the pause in content hasn't started yet, but it may start soon. But yeah, love you guys. Merry Christmas, and may you all have an amazing and happy New Year. Love y'all. See you guys later.